Because I'm really bad at recaps.
Well, best of luck.
What did we even do last session? Um, it was last session when I got the pearl.
Oh dear God,
We were on the boat.
We're on the boat.
The casino
Your,
boat.
your
Oh,
arch
right, the
nemesis.
casino boat. Right. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm sorry. My brain's not functioning yet this morning.
if it's any consolation, like I'm having real problems remembering because I've been so like hyped about the next campaign. I've been putting a lot of effort into it. So yeah, but yes, you were on a riverboat cruise.
Yes, we were on the casino boat. We kind of we gambled for a little bit. We talked to some NPCs. Mel got in with the Mean Girl clique. We saw Kella Darkhope with the band apparently. And I kind of I separated Casper and tried to get him back to his room, and we may have killed him. We did kill him. And then I turned into Casper, and I got Kella thrown off the boat, which was super satisfying. Then we pulled out the chest that he had in his octopus thing, and I think we ripped the whole tank out. I think ripped the whole tank out with telekinesis or some shit, and we dumped it overboard, and we took Casper's body with us, and we basically water walked back to shore. Mm-hmm. And then we chased Kella down, and Celinda killed her. And some weird shit happened with that, which, God, she's gonna regret that later. But let's see. We got back on the airship, and we were headed. We were supposed to be heading to Baldur's Gate, but I guess we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, after last session, you guys did sort of talk about changing directions when you realized where the trackless sea actually is.
Didn't we say Neverwinter?
I really don't think it matters all that much.
I do think that was the general gist, was that you were going to head straight west instead of south, but that's your call to make.
We can stop in Neverwinter or resupply there. If Mel and I want to go have our girls see their boyfriends, we do have a teleportation circle. Really want to do that.
No, I'm good with stopping in Neverwinter just for supplies.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
We'll be home soon enough. Really matter.
Optimistic. I like it. So, yeah. So you guys are on the airship. You've just gutted Kella. Somebody sliced her throat, and you let her bleed out in some sort of field or open plain somewhere not far from Yarder, kind of where Reginald's token is on the map there. And you called Kendrick via sending and had him bring the ship, using lights to attract the ship and Kendrick. They showed up, and you guys all climbed aboard, so you're back on your airship. And so, are you heading to Neverwinter?
Sounds like it.
Yeah, that sounds good.
That's a good enough setting.
Sure. Okay. Cool.
As long as they'll sell us, barrels of salt pork.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, with the airship and things, it's. I guess I should zoom in a little on the map since it's like illegible even for me. From where you are, give or take 220 miles, so it'll take you a little more than a day to get to Neverwinter. So you've got a day aboard the ship before arriving in Neverwinter. It's pretty late at night, so it's probably conceivable that you could arrive there in the morning 2 days from now. Is there any, how are you spending your time on the ship? Everyone's very quiet today.
I got one. I'm going to spend some time in my cabin. I'm going to cast Commune.
Okay.
To get a general idea as to what direction King Hecaton might be found. So, since I've trained on the airship some, I'm probably using the navigation tools that are accessible to me up there, and just going off of one degree to the next. And I'm just like, hey, Lathander, is this a good general idea to find King Hecaton? And then I just kind of do that until he says yes, I guess.
Well, okay, that's interesting. I might have to read that spell specifically.
I think I get 3 yes or no questions.
Ooh, okay, I'm glad I read that. All right. Okay, yeah, go for it.
So, hey, Lathander. I guess just from Neverwinter, I'm just gonna, for your sake, as far as how to see it, I'm just gonna do like an arrow thing. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Okay, so, like, is this a good general direction to find King Hecaton?
And the message you get is simply unclear.
Oh, Lathander, you're letting me down. How about this? Is this a good direction?
Unclear.
Lathander, is there something preventing you from seeing King
Yes.
Hecaton? Got it.
Okay. So you got your 3 questions.
Yep.
Cool. How else? How is everyone else spending their time aboard the ship?
Probably just playing with Oberon.
Okay. Sure.
I forgot the name of the ship that Hecaton's on. I don't see it.
The
in my notes.
Morkoth.
Yeah.
Morkoth.
Then I am going to use sending at least once to get Captain Ashala. Hey, have you heard of a ship called the Morkoth, and have you heard of where it may be last made birth?
Yeah, I think the answer you get back is effectively, don't recognize the name. Never heard of something like never heard of a ship that name making berth.
Yep. Thanks very much. If you ever do hear of it, avoid it. It's got angry giants on it.
And yeah, she just gives you an acknowledgement. Okay, sorry, I'm just thinking. I have to ask, forgive me. Is Mel still playing the Wii?
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
She inadvertently muted herself, apparently, because I heard her say that 3 times before it came through.
Sorry.
Okay, what is Elizabeth doing?
Honestly, she's probably similar to Valen. She's kind of locked away in her own cabin, writing notes specifically for her family and Asher. Yeah,
Like, if I should die kind of thing?
pretty much.
Okay, all right. Just curious.
Yep.
Yeah. Reginald, how are you spending your time?
Let's see here. Probably also doing some document writing, but strictly legal documents, like distribution of shares, who takes control of certain aspects of the vineyard and wine sales, and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, sure. Yeah, so you guys basically spend the day. Just like some of you doing administrative work, some of you trying to do some research. I think we can probably just fast forward to you guys like arriving in Neverwinter, unless there's something someone really wants to be doing. I think at some point Kendrick probably approaches. Which of you do you think he would approach? Like, there isn't really a leader among you. I kind of feel like I think it might be Valem, if anybody, maybe Reginald.
Reggie or Valem's more our leader than anything.
Yeah, unless it had something specifically to do with magic or sailing, I can't see it being anyone else.
Yeah, so I think, I think Valem at some point during, like, the day of travel, Kendrick kind of approaches you. I imagine he probably, because you guys have, I think, like, separate little rooms or whatever downstairs, he probably comes down and knocks on your door. Probably, like, after you've done your communing. You just hear this, like, gentle rapping at the door. He's like, hey, Valem? Can I, are you naked in there?
No, you're good. Come on in.
And like, the door cracks open. He comes in.
And I am naked.
Okay. And he immediately falls to his knees and begins praising Lathander. And he walks in and he says, and he looks a little like reluctant. I mean, it's clear on his face. He says, "Look, you've been good to us. Great, really. More than fair in your treatment of us. But I feel like I have to ask, where are we going? What?"
Well, we're going in.
Have been kind of stressful and weird. Just kind of shrugs at you.
Well, we are on a flying ship, my friend. We are doing things that are a bit more unorthodox than your standard travel.
Yeah.
We're going to go places that other people don't go to. We're going to do things that other people don't do.
That's not vague or ominous at all. Can you tell me?
I think you've seen a piece of it already. We were approached by that giant on. I think was it a griffin? I'm asking.
Yeah. I think it was a rock, but yeah.
Okay. Kind of reminded him of that, and I reminded him of the conversation we had then when he asked me if that was what we were doing, and I pointed to myself and I said, that's what we are doing. He said, your responsibility is to take care of the ship. So Kendrick, I mean, you've proven yourself to be a good man. I think you've been doing fantastic with controlling the ship. When we've called you, you've come. You appear to be doing well. I don't think we've harmed you or
no, it's just
gotten you injured in any way.
You're right on all points. I've never been near someone who saved the world before, which is what I guess you're doing. It's just kind of stressful, and I appreciate you wanting to keep me and the boys out of your way and out of harm's way, and that's...
Well, it's funny that you would use the phrase saving the world, because regardless of your point of view, you're a part of this as well. When the bards tell the stories, you're going to be a part of it.
And yeah,
you're a part of our travels.
He really looks taken aback. Look, I'm just watching the ship. I'd rather, truth to tell, not be lumped in with y'all. I mean, that's how people like me end up getting killed. I appreciate your...
I think you're being a bit modest. I don't think you understand the importance of the job that you have. you've saved us. You've pulled us out of harm's way with the frost giants. You've done exactly what we've expected you to do. This is why we came to you. This is why we did this. We knew that you would succeed in this position.
Just kind of
One thing I don't want you to do is question yourself.
And he looks he almost looks like a schoolboy for a moment. Just kind of shrinks down. Guess I was just looking for some reassurance from you, and I nods. I feel like I got that.
Well, you absolutely have it. Like I said, my faith is placed firmly in you. I know that you're capable of doing what we need you to do. You've proven that already. Again, our intention is never to put you in harm's way, but it's funny. Lathander always works in weird ways. Sometimes you'll think the weight of the world is on your shoulders, but he never gives you too much that you can't actually work through. And it's times like these where he really tests your faith. And again, I just want to emphasize you're doing everything that we expected you to do. You're an amazing person, Kendrick.
Yeah, he blushes a little bit. Kind of reaches out to shake your hand.
I do. Immediately.
Gives you like a stern nod. Well, we'll be arriving in Neverwinter before long, so you should probably go see to the crew.
You do that. Thank you. Anything else you ever need to ask, or you just want to talk? Just where you can find me.
Gives you a nod, just kind of like shrinks down a little and turns around and heads out. So stop it. So you guys, the day passes and you're doing your administrative stuff. Celinda's playing with her Tressum. You guys before long arrive just east of Neverwinter. I'll move Reginald's token to kind of reflect where you are. You could arrive it's up to you, like near Helmshold or north of the river. That's up to you. You guys arrive at Neverwinter. What are you doing while there? What do you need?
Food?
Aside from hope and a prayer.
Hope, prayer, lots of food and actual drinkable water.
Potable water, always good.
I'll pick up another thing of arrows and actually fishing gear if I can find it.
We might want to ask around if anybody's knows where the ship is too.
If Elizabeth, if you want fishing gear, Neverwinter's a port city. Fishing gear stuff is something you could find.
Yeah.
If you want me to go, I'll go down to the dockmaster and ask if they have heard of the ship, if it's ever made berth here. It's about all I could really do. Otherwise, we'll just spend days here asking questions, and we're better off actually looking for the ship at that rate. They are trying not to be found, so.
Okay, is that what you're doing?
Absolutely, I'm going to go ask if the dockmaster has heard of the Morkoth and if it's made dock.
Okay. I feel like we should probably try to make a check here.
Captain owes me 10 gold.
I don't know. Can you make a persuasion check for me? We'll just
Absolutely.
Just to see what kind of information you might get. That'll do. Nice, good work. There's the dockmaster tells you that a few days prior, a ship came in, limping, the ship, missing almost half its crew. Boy came back rambling, mad even, talking about some damn ghost ship came out of nowhere. They were out on a whale hunting ship. Everyone thought the boy was just, seasick and homesick. Came back kind of broken, as you do sometimes, young boy, first time out. The rest of the crew came back just kind of hollowed out. You might find some of them in the local taverns. A lot of them have just given in to the temptations of alcohol.
Absolutely. What's the name of the ship that these men came in on?
Thank you, Jason. Yep, it's called the Steve.
I shall find the sailors from the Steve.
Yeah. So,
yeah. While they're shopping, I'll start going from tavern to tavern. Anybody from the Steve? The Steve? Not named Steve, from the Steve.
Yeah, every bar you walk into, you're like, anybody from the Steve? And a bunch of guys named Steve just goes, I'm Steve.
Oh. All right.
So while you're hunting, Elizabeth, you're buying some arrows and some fishing gear. Like, what were you just looking for? Like a fishing pole or like nets? Like what kind? Like what are you looking for specifically?
Probably pole, tackle, probably maybe a small net just in case. Just something so like if food does run scarce, we have the potential of maybe pulling up something extra from the water itself.
Smart. Yeah. Okay. I mean, you could probably would only cost you maybe like 2 or 3 gold for just like a basic fishing set, like a pole, tackle, maybe like a couple small nets.
All right, I'll grab 2 sets then. Just so I might not be the only one.
5 gold.
Yep, and then arrows plus another gold.
Sure.
I don't know how much the arrows are, honestly. All right,
that's fine. What? Give me a second, guys.
Do you guys think potions of water breathing would be at all useful?
Isn't that what Valem's for?
Well, he's got water walk. Oh, I guess he's got water breathing too. I don't know if he's preparing both.
I don't think well, we're still on the ship. Yeah, I can still do stuff like that.
Wait, I've gauntlets of ogre strength.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you said
'cause
you
you have-
wanted them.
You have the worst strength of us.
You're right, but I mean, I was kind of just joking, but that's still pretty fucking awesome. I'm gonna take them. I'm gonna punch somebody before the end of this. I swear to God.
You could have punched Kella to death.
I could have. I could
Too
have
late.
made her face fucking hamburger. Oh my God! You remember that fucking ship that we flew over on the way to Schwarzburg?
Yeah.
That was probably the Markov. Markov?
Sorry,
Markov?
I'm back.
Could
I
have
bet you
been.
that was it.
So, sorry, I just have to make a quick text. So Elizabeth is buying stuff. Althen is looking for the crew of the Steve. Like Valem, Reginald, what are you doing?
I was thinking about trying to find some potions, maybe. Possibly potions of water breathing.
That's actually what I was thinking of as well, but I was thinking healing.
I mean, we all have healing potions, I think, still.
Did we? I think I have.
There is, in fact, a in Neverwinter, which I don't think I have a map on this in this specific module, but Neverwinter is home to a and like Arcane Tower, the name of which is escaping me. Let me make sure.
There's like a school, yeah.
Oh, I actually do have a
right?
map of Neverwinter.
The school is technically wrecked from the
right.
Mount Hotno explosion.
Right.
But it's still the highly magical city. Like,
Right, exactly, yeah. Okay, yeah. So you can go hunting for some water breathing potions if you'd like. That's the wrong book.
Yeah, just FYI, I do not have that spell.
okay, yeah.
Are you, Cylinder? Are you going with Reginald to find that stuff, or are you doing something else?
If he's gonna make it known that he's gonna go looking for potions, then yeah, I'll go with him. I'd also look for like scrolls, so that'd probably be the same place, right?
Yes, I do think that
So,
they would be in the same place. Okay, so you guys go hunting for that. Valem, what are you doing?
Quite frankly, I don't think there's a lot more that needs to be done. Maybe based on my conversation with Kendrick, probably shoring up the confidence of the crew that we have, maybe talking them up. I know that our original crew has been kind of reluctant to allow the new crew on, so maybe bringing them all together, having a little congregation, and
Do some trust falls.
exactly like a little powwow, and
Okay, sure.
we kumbayas and
Mm-hmm. And a circle jerk. I get it. Yeah. Makes total sense.
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah, Reginald and Celinda, you're able to find, like I said, the arcane school shattered, but people are, doing their best to repair it, and scholars and mages and sages alike are all kind of flitting about. Not far from the tower, there's probably shops that sell, magical quill and ink. Like, it's very much like, what's that place from Harry Potter?
Hogsmeade or Diagon's Alley?
Yeah, Diagon Alley. But yeah, so, there's shops and things aplenty near that part of town.
Might I make a suggestion, Reginald?
Sure.
Instead of a potion, why don't we see if we can find a water-breathing scroll? I can cast that, and it will cast it on all of us, instead of just who drinks it. Maybe cheaper.
That,
Water-breathing lasts for 24 hours.
I mean, that could be... That could
And
work.
I believe you can cast it on 10 creatures, so it would probably save us money if we just got the scroll instead. I mean, we can look around.
Yeah, certainly if we can find one, that's a good alternative. The only problem with that is if we're...
Well,
we need to
I
breathe
could cast it on us before we go. It lasts for 24 hours. It's one of the spells I could have learned. I just didn't because I didn't think it was as useful as, fireball and flying.
Sure, let's see if we can find the scroll first.
I could definitely cast this long before we go into battle.
Okay. I'll say, I mean, being that Neverwinter's a port city, and having the ability to breathe water, if, for example, a ship were to get wrecked, is super important. So I think you could probably find someone willing to sell you that scroll. Definitely not going to be cheap.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm just hoping that it'll be cheaper than buying 6 potions of water breathing.
Well, the other thing to remember also is that potions of water breathing only last an hour.
I know, and the water breathing scroll, I can cast it on 10 people for 24 hours.
Right.
So
I think it's going to be much more than 6 potions, just because you can cast it once on so many people for so long.
That's
Versus
basically
the flip side, you need to be a caster to do that. Anyone can down a potion.
yeah.
True. So, I'm thinking that scroll is going to cost you. I'm thinking 500 gold.
That's actually pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe that's about what it suggests in the book as well.
Oh shit.
yeah, that's works for me considering
Yeah.
we're not going to have a chance to spend most of this gold
Yeah.
Mhm.
after
We'll
the
just
adventure's over.
Use
So.
one of our 500 gold diamonds, I guess.
Well, those are for Valem to bring any of us back to life.
We have other gemstones. So we have a hot 500 gold gemstone
Yeah.
from the Great Worm Cavern we could use.
None of the stuff that I have is in the party loot. I mean, I could use that stuff, but
Yeah, I mean, I specifically exchanged some of our random gemstones for diamonds, just so
okay.
if we need a revival, we have
So-
the material components.
Okay. Yeah, because I have in my possession a lot of components already.
Okay.
So yeah, let's swap out the 500 gemstone for a scroll of water breathing. You can put that in your inventory.
Now, something I
Zelda.
would also consider buying is a haste scroll. The question is, do I have to concentrate on that like normal spell, or
I think
I
so.
think so, yeah.
Yeah, I would assume so. I mean,
what about the haste potion? I think it's called the potion of speed.
let's see if it's in the SRD.
Because I
It
think
is.
Reginald with the potion of speed would be like,
Yeah, I mean that would be beastly for sure.
it would be if we could get our hands on one.
The potion of speed and also the potion of giant size.
No
Well,
concentration required for speed. But it only lasts for a minute.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But also, shit, I'll have to go looking for it now. Damn it. I just want to be. I'm pretty sure that you can do that, but I do remember there being something about that potion of giant size that said you couldn't like double effects with it. I'm assuming that means you can't use like giant size on top of that. But I just want to be sure.
I remember it said, I know it only works on medium creatures, medium or smaller.
Let's see.
Yeah,
Let's see. Here, I have it here. I got it.
That might be too much for us to actually afford, but I mean, it's something to look into. Because it is a very rare potion.
Yeah, you become huge for 24 hours if you're medium or smaller. Otherwise, the potion does nothing.
I'm totally going to drink one of those whenever we go to our final fight.
Yeah. I think we all should probably drink one of those before we go into our final fight. Doesn't it last like 8 hours or something?
24 hours.
Actually, I don't think there's a reason I can't show this to you, so you guys can just have this.
I
think
thought
you
we
already
already did.
Yeah,
Oh, did
yeah,
I?
magic
Oh.
item, potion, giant size.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Well, good. Good. Okay. Yeah,
So,
like I said,
I think
don't.
we should all take one of these.
Well, I mean, yeah, they did strangely give you like 5 of them, or
Six.
6, I think. Which I don't know why they gave you 6, but that doesn't matter now. I thought there was something about doubling up in here, but I'm not seeing it. Like I said, I don't think there's a reason why you can't take haste on top of that. I think that's perfectly legitimate.
The real question is, can we afford a potion
Yeah,
of haste /
I
speed?
think it's a thing where like you walk into a shop and there's like a gilded case that is like covered in what you immediately recognize, Celinda, as like ruined glass, like protective, like magically protected glass, and there's like that vial that's got this like yellowish gold liquid in it, and they have like lights on it like you do in a jewelry store.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no price tag on it, of course, because, you know, nobody can afford it anyway. And the clerk sees you kind of eyeing it and says to you, "That's just for show."
Are you sure?
I am, as no one who's entered the store in the half century that it's been here standing, no one's been able to afford it. No one willing, anyway.
Well, are you unwilling to sell it, or are you just...
He just like smirks. It's become a game, you see. As soon as we say the price, somebody immediately just gapes and then leaves. It's quite humorous. We take bets on how long it'll take. Usually not long, though. You, I figure, 7 seconds.
Well, do you have a price tag on it?
Of course. It's a measly, piddly 10,000 gold.
Really? That's a little ridiculous for a consumable that lasts a minute.
Well, I said it was expensive.
It is a little expensive for us at the moment.
Yes, for the moment.
I don't actually think we have anything that's worth that.
No, I'm pretty sure we don't.
No, we don't, unfortunately. Yeah, that's definitely out of our price range.
Yeah, and he just looks, he says, "Well, it seems I was wrong. Took you more than 7 seconds."
Do you have haste spell scrolls?
You're really going to do this, aren't you?
Of course I am. Do I not look like the type of person that would do this?
Dear. Can I just say no when you leave?
No.
He says, we don't have that. I'm sorry.
Well, that's fine. It was worth a shot.
Indeed. And you just
Does he have anything else interesting in here?
I mean, there's potions and stuff, and there's scrolls. He doesn't have what you're looking for. Oh, of course, John. Thank you for rubbing my nose in that.
I know I've posted that before. I figured since she was asking for prices, so.
Oh, I have that PFD too. Some of them are a little crazy. Like the Wand of Webs is like 6,000 gold or some shit. It's like
all right. So, fucking... are you leaving this shop?
If Reginald doesn't want to look around, then I guess.
I mean, I'm good on gear and consumables now.
Okay, so you guys go to leave, and there's other shops down here. There's other magical shops, and there is this little female gnome that's got her like arms crossed in that very like Fonzie fashion. Her leg is crossed, her heel is crossed in front of the other. She's got her arms crossed. She kind of looks at you and nods. She says, "So, not able to afford it, huh?"
Yeah, he wants way too much.
Shh, please. That shit isn't even real. It's all for show. They lost all their stuff when, that Mount Hope, She's like, they can't even remember how to make them. It's all a ruse, a scam, you see. Because he's an asshole.
Well, he seemed like this.
She's like, what are you looking for? I can help you.
I'm looking for a potion of speed.
Just one?
Yeah. Well, I think only one of us would benefit. What about, would Elizabeth benefit from speed, do you think, Mel?
I mean, at the
From haste
moment,
spell gives you an extra action.
right. I'm just not sure. Does that give me two extra shots if I take the attack action? Because I have extra attack.
I think it only gives you one attack action.
But
plus
that would
double
still give me
movement.
3 attacks.
Yeah.
Plus all the movement to come and go or whatever.
Correct.
Yes. And I wouldn't have to concentrate, so. This is if we can afford them.
So
I
what
know
do
Reginald will definitely benefit from this.
I think everybody would technically benefit because it does also give you a +2 bonus to AC, advantage on
Yeah.
dex saves.
But us casters, it's not going to benefit nearly as much as
Dashing
someone
is a
who's-
bonus action functionally.
Yeah, dash, disengage, hide. Yeah, 1 weapon attack for the extra attack action.
That's still pretty fucking nice. And I don't have to concentrate on it, so you don't have to worry about it wearing off because I got hit. Or Alton got hit, or Valen got hit, or something like that.
How much? Find out how much they are, and then find out if we can afford, if they're even worth the effort of finding out if we need how many.
Good idea. We do have magic items we can trade. Well, maybe.
Got a couple left.
Okay. Yeah, so she'll tell you like each potion. She might be willing to give you a group discount, but one potion is going to cost you about 500 gold.
That's actually not bad. Is she willing to take items?
Depends on what you have.
Oh, well, I have gauntlets of ogre strength that I really don't need, but
Did nobody in the group use those?
So we gave them to Celinda because she's the weakest.
That was dumb.
mean,
She's a
Conrad-
caster. What the fuck? All right.
None of the
She
rest of
still
us
has to make
Conrad-
athletics checks, and
I mean,
Yeah, I'll
Conrad,
take
You have a
them. I
cleric,
technically
a
have
warlock.
weapons I can use, but I don't. I have Eldritch Blast.
I know, it's like, why would any of us use this besides maybe
Yeah.
Conrad?
but they don't help me because my strength is already 18.
I
just
know,
to
you-
19. So
Okay.
They,
All right.
yeah, they're
Yeah, I mean, if you're interested in selling those or maybe trading them, that might
if
be
nobody
something.
else wants
We
them,
also-
I'm-
we have the leather armor with aquatic stitching that's
oh
magic,
god, we do that.
which I'm
nobody
pretty
would
sure
use.
is Mariner's armor.
Actually,
but-
that might be useful in this upcoming
I
battle.
was gonna say, no, hold on.
I was gonna say,
We're going on
yeah,
a boat.
maybe that's something you want to hold on to for the time being.
It might be the one time when this fucking aquatic armor we've got is actually relevant. What armor does everybody have on? I think Mel and Alton might be the only ones that could actually use that, though.
Yeah, but I have the glamour
Yeah.
studded.
I think Alton's the only one without magic
That
armor right
doesn't-
now, or
That doesn't
yeah,
have any
wears
like
armor.
the glamour studded doesn't have like any mechanical
What's the
advantage
Mariners
to
do?
it. I think it lets you water breathe.
And
No.
it gives you a swim speed.
It
It
gives you a
doesn't.
swim
It
speed,
doesn't give
yes.
you water breathing.
Yeah, it just gives you a swim speed, I think.
But also, if you hit 0 hit points while you're underwater, every round it lifts you 60 feet toward the surface.
You know,
Oh, that's
Nifty,
That's good.
but
Water walk is going to do the same thing.
yeah, I think that might be why I passed on it the first time. I've got the one AC is actually worth more than the swim speed, so I'd say keep it just because it's really the longer we wait for this ship to go anywhere. I don't like that idea. The longer we dawdle.
I have a really silly idea. If Kendrick's worried about where we're going and hovering over the water, we could give it to him as part of payment, so he can either use it if needed, or does he wear heavy? But if something happens, he could use it to help him through the water, and if not, he just keeps it and sells it himself.
It could be his payment for the next leg of this because we are going to have him hunt down a ghost ship.
Okay. I mean, what are you doing here?
If nobody minds me trading the gauntlets, I'll trade the gauntlets. No problem. Like, I don't think any of us can really use them.
I have no use for it.
I guess the
Yeah.
question is: are these gifts from the giants, or are they on loan from the giants?
That is an
Pretty
assumption
sure.
you're going to have to make on your own.
I believe Valem did say anything we don't use, we will return.
Yeah.
But we are
Oh.
using this. We are using
No.
this to
No,
buy
we're
potions.
selling
that
it.
means use up.
No, we're using them. We're using it to buy potions that we're going to use for Hecaton.
You can't return
No.
something that way, Celinda.
That's some weird regifting shit you've got going on.
Yeah.
That only a noble would think is okay.
Yeah.
Well, I ain't giving them.
Hey, can I borrow your car? Oh, I traded your car in for a bunch of beef jerky. Then I ate it.
That's a
Well, I'm
lot of
not
beef
giving my
jerky.
pearl bag. I never said I was giving the pearl bag. Sorry.
Oh my god. We're gonna get
In fact,
killed.
I could actually use the pearl to buy one of these.
That chest we yanked out of the.
Yeah, we never
Hey,
did
gold
see
in
what
it.
was in that chest.
Yeah, we did.
What was-
I'm pretty sure
Did
I
we?
told you, yeah.
I don't remember.
It was just gold,
How much gold?
like 450.
Mhm.
That's almost enough for a
I thought it would have had a bunch of gems in it, no?
It was, I believe, off the top of my head, it was 450 gold plus 450 worth of gems. So it was 900 total.
Yeah, so we didn't put that in the party loop. So
So, I mean, we could use all of that plus add 100 gold to that on top of it. Buy 2 of these if we really want. One for Conrad and one for Mel.
that works for me.
Go for it.
I'm cool with it.
All right. So I'll take out 100 from party loot, and I just won't enter anything about the other chest of 900 gold
Okay.
worth of stuff.
All right. So yeah, you guys buy 2 potions of speed.
And we thank this cute little gnome. What's her name, by the way?
Her name is amazing, and I will let you know that in a few minutes. She's adorable, and that's what matters. Her name is Dory.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Don't you remember where she is? And where she's going?
I mean, her husband's name is
Just keep
Nemo.
slamming.
So,
Keep slamming.
okay. So, Alton, you did an investigation roll to find anybody from the Steve.
It didn't go so well.
Yeah. I think all you find are like really drunk people everywhere, and you're not able to find what you're looking for necessarily.
I can definitely agree with that. Finding sober sailors is a thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything else you guys need to do or buy while you're in the city?
No, let's go save a giant king.
I think just making sure, yeah, we've stocked up on food and water. But I think we already established that.
Yeah.
So.
That's the main reason.
Sure. Okay. You have done that. So you guys all head back. You find your way back to the airship, and Kendrick and Lamar and Omar and the cultists, and you guys board the ship. Now what I need you to do is one or all of you simultaneously, because that would be really great for me. Use your rulers from Neverwinter there and show me which way you're headed. Like north, west, west, southwest. I mean, you have to head west. But it's, or you could just head straight east.
So here's the question. When we were going to Svardborg,
Mm-hmm.
we flew over a ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did it seem like now that we know what we're looking for, that was the ship?
Well, here's the question. Do you know what you're looking for? Like, what are you looking for?
We're looking for a ship that has a giant on it.
Yeah, I mean, that ship, if I recall, was full of frost giants, I think.
Did that look like the ship that came into Svardborg while we were there, though?
Again, you don't really know what the ship is.
It's definitely going to have to be a large ship. Like a standard fishing vessel or something like that isn't going to hold a storm giant in it. So
I think that that ship we saw with the Frost Giants was just one of their many ships they have, because they had multiple other large boats in similar design at Svardborg. That was just the one that was out and about. May or may not have been the one the giant leader was on, but I think it's just part of his armada.
Okay. Yeah. So you're looking for a ship.
No, specifically, we're looking for a ghost ship.
Well, that's what somebody called it.
Yeah,
Now,
but it gives us more to go with than anything else. If someone called it a ghost ship, it's either shrouded in mist or looks abandoned. Something.
Alton
It will be
wasn't able.
distinct.
Alton wasn't able to find any of the crew members, but if it's in the port and it's being fixed, we could likely find the ship, and in turn, someone would eventually show up that we could talk to, right?
Yeah, I got a question for you, Valem. Do you think if we had something of King Hecaton's, you'd be able to scry the ship?
I'm under the impression, based on my commune spell, that something is blocking it.
Okay.
Because if Lathander wasn't able to see it, I doubt that my magic is going to be able to see it.
All right.
No, you were scrying for King Hecaton. Find the boat.
That's what he was.
No, he was asking for which way's a good way to find King Hecaton?
Well,
Not which way to find the boat. If the king is hidden from scrying, nothing says the boat is, or the captain, or the something. I mean, you'd think, but sometimes people are stupid.
but King Hecaton is the only thing we actually know. I mean, we have a vague description of the ship.
And a name, it's something.
Well, as far as like locate object, locate creature, that only works like 1,000 feet. We're going to be able to see way farther than that.
That's
But
true.
what he's referring to though is some form of scrying, and that's where, if Lathander was unable to know the general direction,
Yeah,
I don't
probably,
think that would have just been cast upon Hecaton. I'm sure that would have been cast upon the vessel itself.
But yeah,
If-
Okay.
if a god's sight is blocked, then I doubt. Yeah.
I mean, if we're gonna scry on it, how are we gonna know its location if it's in the middle of the ocean anyways? We're not gonna have anything to go by. Unless it's nighttime, I guess maybe. And that would require someone like Alton that knows navigation.
Ugh.
Yeah, as far as where this moon is or the sun and whatnot.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard even scrying on it to tell the location because it's in the middle of the trackless sea. Unless it's like by land or something.
Again, I just think before we leave Neverwinter, I think we should try to just find the ship, find the Steve, and wait for someone to come to it, and then at least get a general idea as far as where they were at. I think that's at least our best bet. Because this
I
sea's
have to agree.
huge.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a very good idea. So yeah,
Sextant.
Mhm. It's true. Aw. Okay.
I was thinking that same thing, Conrad. You're a cheap.
So, yeah. So do you all go down? Or-
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Um,
Always. What?
You brought that upon yourself.
It's true. I always
Really
do.
did.
So are you are all going down to the docks?
Sure.
All right. So yeah, you guys all head down to the docks collectively, and it doesn't take you long actually to find a ship that looks like it's being torn apart. It's being pulled apart by the boards, by the mast, for parts. Basically, it's being stripped for parts. And there's a number of laborers just pulling it apart. There's a couple, dock workers who are just kind of like sitting there, like on their lunch, like eating fruit or whatever, and just watching the process.
I'm guessing that's Steve, and it seems like he's seen better days.
Haven't most thieves?
Well, also all ships are female, so Steve is a woman in this case. But yes.
That is sexist. Thank you very much.
I mean, I don't know about that, but okay.
Isn't it shipist?
It is, yeah. It's boatist. So, yeah, you guys kind of approach and you see these people pulling the ship apart, and there's a couple people just watching. You do notice that there appears to be like a half-orc woman who's pretty close to the ship, and she's just got her arms crossed, you know, muscular woman, you know, well-built, just kind of like watching this process, kind of standing alone.
Yeah, Daddy.
You what?
Nothing.
So you see this half-orc, you see these people. What are you doing?
I push Alton forward. You're
Ah!
the master. You're the dock person. You know
So
boats. Go talk to her.
I walk up.
She's also a big, scary woman. Beth is intimidated.
You fought giant. Never mind. I walk up to the half orc. Good. What time of day is it anyway? Good afternoon. Say it's afternoon.
Mm-hmm. She doesn't even like look down at you. She just grunts.
So what sunk you?
Just kind of shudders. Cursed, more like.
All right. What cursed you?
Hells if I know. Some ship, some damned ship. Shaped like one of those sea creatures itself. Came out of nowhere. Barely made a sound.
Okay. First question. Shaped like which kind of sea creature? There's a few.
She kind of like finally looks down at you for the first time and squints. And you notice, like, looking at her straight on, like, you suspect, especially having been a sailor, that this, you know, you've probably sailed with some half-orcs in your time, and some of them are pretty fierce and sturdy, confident kind of folk. And she just looks kind of empty when you look at her. She says, "What's your interest?"
I'm going to blow it up.
Damn fool you are.
You have no idea. But yeah, which way? And what's it look like?
West.
That is singularly unhelpful. Due west, north by northwest. Come on, you can do better than this. We share a profession.
And she like looks at you, and for the first time with like a death glare, she says, "You have no idea what I've seen. The screams I heard as people were being dragged under. Don't you dare."
I've been.
And like
Trust me, you
some
got
of
no
the
clue.
some of the other people who are like sitting there eating or whatever have sort of like just subtly like finished eating and like stood up and started to walk away.
One of those tentacle things comes down from beneath, brings you down, drags you all the way down to where the water's black. Yeah, lady, actually, I've got a clue.
And like for the first time, her eyes go wide. She's like, "Are you friends with that beast?"
Hell no, I'm killing it.
"Who the hell are you?"
Alton Brownbread, nice to make your acquaintance.
And she just like shakes her head. She just says like under her breath, "Riza."
Good to meet you.
Not really.
Well, I think it is, but you're allowed to have a different opinion.
That thing was shaped like a damn squid. Biggest thing I've ever seen. Like I said, came out of nowhere. We were out west. We weren't far from Ruatheme. We had a spotter up on the crow's nest. Good one, too. She was the first to go. The shaking of the damn boat threw her right off. She fell into the deep. We limped back here. City's demon, this ship cursed. I tend not to to argue with that conclusion. If I were you, I'd stay the hell away from that area.
Thankfully, you're not me, and I really don't have a choice in the matter. So, that being said, you've been extraordinarily helpful.
Can we be done now?
Yeah, sure. By the way, that haunted look, you gotta learn to hide it better. It doesn't go away. I won't tell you that. That's a lie. But learn to smile, make jokes. It works. Walk off.
Yeah, and like we get that kind of like tableau as you're walking away. We see some of the workers up on the ship have like stopped working and are looking at her and like watching you walk away, and she's just standing there like hollow, just arms still crossed. And you meet up with your friends.
So, that was useful.
What did you learn?
The ship looks like a squid.
A squid?
How's
Yeah.
that now?
Hey,
I mean, I'm not a boat builder, but it seems like that would be a pretty poor design for.
Looks like a squid or something else. Can I do a nature check?
What is?
Have I ever heard of something bigger than a squid?
I mean, that's. I mean, yeah, I guess you could make a nature check. It's kind of a vague thing, but yeah.
Or history?
I mean, either one works. Probably history, just for because you probably
I
read
think
it in a
it's
book.
actually the same for me. Like maybe some. I don't know anything about the trackless sea.
Yeah, the sea is full of strange creatures, fish and snails and things. Also, bigger stuff. You don't
that
remember
being
any
said,
of
I'd also like to make a check, but for a very different type of sea monster with tentacles.
it. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what I was hoping that I could figure out.
What
'cause
what I may be quasi acquainted with.
Why don't you make me an Arcana check?
That's what I was afraid you were going to tell me.
So, as you're kind of discussing this with your friends and you're thinking about it, you get a sharp pain in your head, like both sides, eerily reminiscent of when you were pulled under, and that pressure mounting on your skull, and your nose begins to drip blood. But you get the sensation that this is not your boss. That your boss is doing this to you, but whatever's out there, whatever this thing is, it's not your boss. Your boss is pissed about it. Does that make sense?
Kind of?
Yeah, it's
is
kind
it
of weird.
Like your boss?
Your boss is sending you a message. Something, it's alerting you to something out there in the only way it knows how.
By fucking with you.
And I think
Wow.
I'm assuming that Slater is invisible.
Oh yeah, Slater is invisibly perched on my shoulder pretty much all times.
Yeah, but what happens is Slater, you guys hear it. Alton, Slater slips off your shoulder and like thuds onto the boards of the dock. And he begins like rubbing his temples. He says, "Whoa, whoa, whoa. What did you do, man?"
Ow.
And like you hear like the dragging of nails as Slater's like standing back up, and he like Alton, he like grabs onto your knee to like brace himself to stand up because he's obviously shaken. Sorry, Reggie, I think you were going to say something.
I was just gonna say, Alton, are you all right?
Not yet. Give me a minute.
What just happened?
Boss is pissed.
We're not.
We're not hunting.
No, he's not that pissed. My head would explode.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Or I'd be trying to kill you. Either or. I'm not doing either. Go really badly for me.
Slater
We
says,
were talking about the what now?
maybe it would be best if we like headed the other way, boss. Like east, away from the water. I love the water. And he's like, you hear him coughing. And I think I think we get that scene where like he's invisible, but he coughs up actual real blood that hits the docks, and like the rest of you see it. He says to you, Alton, maybe I wasn't clear before, but like I really think you and I need to like work on our communication skills. And like you can like imagine him like using his like wrist to wipe the blood away from his face. You don't still want to go out there, do you?
Want? No. Kinda have to? Yeah.
I'm sure. No. I'm sure he'd understand. We could just hang here by the docks, by the beach, and just chill. I'm sure it's fine.
He sends the same message whenever he wants to say something. That could have been the equivalent of "go kill this thing."
Oh man.
That being said, I am not sending you in alone to scout if there's any other option.
Oh, that's real kind of you. And like the sarcasm is just bleeding through.
In point of fact, I'm probably going to keep you banished so that you can't get eaten by anything.
Cool.
So yeah, boss. But that wasn't the boss. But it was the boss. My head hurts. Am I bleeding again, Celinda?
You've just got like a...
What exactly is your boss?
I've talked about him enough. Big guy beneath the waves, great one, saved my life. Neither here nor there. West. Out west.
Mm-hmm.
And it's quiet. And yeah.
So eyes sharp.
And there, you also gave me a name that began with an R, but I was not typing at the moment.
Yeah. You as a sailor would probably know this name, actually. There's a couple islands out in the Trackless Sea that just kind of sit there. The half-orc said Ruatheme.
Ruatheme, thank you.
That's just where the
half-orc
half-orc was when they got hit.
That's, more recent than anything else we have.
Go to places I need to start our, search.
Okay. So is that what you're doing?
I'm buying Slater a bunch of trail mix first, but yeah, otherwise.
Should we spend the night here in town or just hop on the airship and start going?
Unless anybody sees a reason to stay, the sooner we get started, as they say.
Yeah, they've already got
Just-
a lead on us.
The sooner this is over with, the sooner we can all go home.
Or something like it.
Okay. So yeah, you guys head back to the airship and take off. Yeah. Which way are you headed?
West!
Towards Ruatheme.
Yeah, towards everything.
So Ruatheme is like slightly southwest. Kind of this way hereabouts. Okay. Yeah. So you head out that way. I have a lot of shit on my screen right now. Cool. So you travel it takes you a good couple days over just open ocean. And it's probably going to take you the better part of 2.5 to 3 days to get to the Trackless Sea, like outside of the Sea of Swords. Yeah, you guys just travel. I'm assuming unless you tell me otherwise, we can just, cut to. But unless there's something you want to be doing in those 3 days, you let me know.
Well, we're fresh with supplies, so Beth has no need to fish.
Okay. All right.
All right, should we go ahead and identify that leather armor and then maybe give it to Kendrick if he wants it? If no one else is going to take it, or should we not worry about that? It's probably not going to be important, but
Kendrick could probably use it. Based on my conversation with him, it might make him feel a little better. I think money and expensive things tend to
Well,
make him feel better.
Just for his own safety, if he has to jump ship,
Yeah.
he won't drown.
All right. So you're giving the mariner's armor to Kendrick?
Yeah, I mean, if he would want it.
Yeah, I mean,
If he uses heavy armor, then it might not be up his.
they all use like medium armor. Some like light chain or breastplates, that kind of thing.
Okay.
But, I think Kendrick asks you, like what the armor does.
So, well, I believe it helps you swim better and keeps you from drowning to your death.
And he just like begins. He nods as he's hearing you say it, but then he just like casually shakes his head. He says, "Well, in that case, I don't think I can take it."
Any reason why?
Well, you only have the one set. If I have to go down with this ship, which I really don't, I can't survive with knowing that my friends are dead. Referring, of course, to Lamar Noble.
Yeah. Well, that's an honorable decision, and I hope it doesn't come to that.
You and me both. Yeah, so you guys head west, and does any of you? I know this is a leading question, but I feel like I've given you one before. Do any of you have a spyglass?
Nope.
Huh.
Can we
okay.
pick one up before we leave Neverwinter?
Does
Because
nobody
that's one of
have
those
the
things I
airship
think would have been.
one?
Yeah.
I
Like,
could have sworn
wouldn't
you
the
got that one.
Airship people have one.
No, I don't think they do actually.
Why would you not have a spyglass when you're on an airship?
Because the cultists trust the dragon.
Cultists are idiots. That's
Well,
why.
Yeah.
How much is a spyglass
Do we
to
really
buy?
need it when I
Like
have
1,000 gold.
sharpshooter? No,
Yeah,
kidding.
it's 1,000 gold for a spyglass.
Oh, I don't have 1,000 gold.
We could have bought a spyglass, except we just bought 2 potions of speed instead.
Wait,
No.
how much money do we have in the party loot now?
I mean, we have 500 gold worth of gems and 500 gold still.
I took a bunch of money for that boat, expecting to actually have to spend something to bet and get someplace. So I actually have 40 platinum on Beth. So that's 400 gold. That I'm pretty sure is all party loot.
Well, again, it doesn't really. Honestly, I think I'd rather get fairly close to the water. If this thing's supposed to be shaped like a squid, it's probably really low. Probably doesn't sit very high above the water.
But that benevolent disembodied voice makes a good point. If we're going to be out in the middle of the sea, a spyglass could be useful for spotting things on the horizon.
Yeah. I'm going to put the 40 platinum back in party loot, because I just realized that that's in the platinum spot and not the gold. Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not saying we shouldn't grab it. I'm saying.
So yeah, that gives us 680 platinum alone.
What?
No.
688
platinum.
680 gold. Conversion language. I need more coffee. And
Yeah, if we had
Between
680
and
platinum,
gold, we would have 1,000.
yeah.
don't mind me.
All
Should
right.
be used to this by now.
So, do you have enough to spend for a spyglass?
Yeah, take 40 of the platinum and 400, or 60
Well,
of the platinum and 400 gold.
Yeah.
How the hell much is a spyglass?
it's 1,000.
1,000
1,000.
gold pieces. Yeah.
Wow.
Or we could convert the Electrum just to get rid of it.
I mean, that's like 7 gold pieces.
Yeah, Electrum's
Oh, is
not
it?
worth much.
Well, it's like, what, 14? No.
It's like a silver and a half or something like that. It's a
Yeah, that's right.
conversion.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
thought it
it's
was
not a lot.
when Electrum was 5 silver.
Yeah, I believe it is.
So 2
Anyway.
Electrum is 1
I mean,
gold.
it's
So
like
it's like
36,
yeah, it's like 30 gold.
36
It's
gold.
not.
Yeah, it's not enough.
It's,
That's what I was saying. Just take 60 platinum and 400 gold.
yeah. All right. I'll edit that.
So yeah, you guys, of course, in Neverwinter, spyglasses are something that they definitely manufacture and sell. Jewel of the North and all. So yeah, you find yourself a spyglass. You guys are heading out on the open water, and I assume you guys kind of take turns looking through the spyglass.
Yeah.
Sure.
I ask Alton if there's like specific things that are good indicators of stuff on the horizon. Like he'd probably know the best about.
If you're really looking far on the horizon, it'd be a change in. If it looks like a straight line, there's nothing there. If it looks like a bump, you found something.
That's what my doctor said.
Oh my!
No, there's a couple of indicators. Depending on the time of day, you get different things. Shadows can be a big thing if you get the sun in the right spot.
Cool.
This is going to be a stupid question from somebody who's literally rarely never sailed. Would light attract this thing? Do we think?
Would light attract what? Ship?
Whatever this creature is. Like, it attacked the boat for some reason. I don't know if it was just because it was there, or if we're floating above the water, it's not necessarily going to come to us, theoretically. But I've got fishing gear and a necklace of light from Valem. Just an idea. I could fish for the thing. That's
I
just
want
sitting there
you
and
to
I
do
was
this
like,
only on principle.
That's actually really clever.
I just think of those, what are the like the lampfish that use that like light
Yeah.
on like an antenna to attract prey
Lamprey.
to eat it.
Yeah, lamprey.
Maybe that's just a Pokemon. Wait a minute.
No, it's an actual fish.
No, I know. I'm super silly today. I'm sorry. It's the Christmas spirit finally infecting me.
Yeah, no, I don't think fishing is gonna do it for you, but you can always try.
She's gonna turn herself into an anglerfish.
Sure, makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So
Wait, what's that supposed to be?
it's the thing with the
It's
light
really-
that bobs off.
No, what's that supposed to mean?
Yeah. So anyway, after about 2.5, 3 days, you guys kind of trading turns with the spyglass, and you before long you spot land with the spyglass, and I will switch your map here.
Yas.
Yar.
So,
Yas.
I imagine you're coming kind of down further south here on the map, but I don't. Is there dynamic lighting on this map? There shouldn't be.
Nope.
Okay, so you guys kind of come roundabouts here, I say, and you spot the land to the north of you and to the south. You probably see a few very small ships not far from the island. With the spyglass, you're able to tell that they just look like fishing vessels. So yeah, what do you do?
I look to the north.
Okay. You see some ships. I know that you see that token. That's not it.
Had to ask.
Yeah, that's just the general like icon for a fishing vessel. There's quite a few. They're small, human-sized ships.
Oh my god, bird.
I mean,
So
let's see what they have to say.
That
Well,
might be
My
our best.
recommendation would be to, if this is where it was last seen, we start on perhaps a spiral course where we surround the ship and then we slightly go further out until we expand outside of it. A lot of times, like search parties, that's how they are able to find certain things. It might work the same way.
That's not a bad idea. You could also stop and ask if anybody's seen it.
But how old would that information be at this point? I mean, we're at least, what, 4 or 5 days out from when the last ship was attacked. I mean, who knows how far away it could be now?
Well, that's the
Well,
point. We're
that-
looking for a more recent sighting.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, circling around it's going to waste even more time if that's what we're going to do.
I vote for stopping in Ruthim and asking.
I don't think it can hurt anything.
That's
I mean,
fine.
any
What do we know about this place?
Someone could make a check.
Not Beth, because
What
God
kind
knows
of
she barely
check?
knows anything about,
I'll make a history check.
Yeah,
Maybe that sailor guy.
Yeah, like
Yeah, as I say, I'll make one considering.
yeah, history check would probably. Holy shit! Whoa,
She
That's
wins.
weird.
So Linda likes books.
I'm not
Uh,
making a history check.
I do. It's in my backstory that I like books.
So, yeah, what you both technically rolled the same thing, which is real weird. So yeah, Ruthim. These islands generally are populated by different breeds of barbarians. Ruthim has been at war with Luskan for longer than anyone can really remember. They are humans that generally that populate these places. Ruathim is a town that sits on the coast.
I mean, as far as barbarians, we're not talking like cannibals, right?
Not necessarily, no. I mean, these are mostly just coastal folks, and living on an island and that kind of thing. Luskan, for quite some time, have come out here and basically like plundered and razed the island settlements. That's happened now and again. But the natives here, they just keep rebuilding. But there is definitely a long and bloody history between Ruathim and Luskan.
Okay.
It's like Texas.
What's a Texas?
Texas is at war with Luskan?
Nah, they stand in the path of the twister and then build something back in the path of the twister.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Don't you mean Kansas?
Both.
Yeah. Anyway, distracted much. So yeah, that's what you know about Ruathim. What are you doing?
I mean, it sounds like it'd be fine to just land and talk to people.
Yeah, so long as we don't mention any association with Luskan.
I mean, we've never even been there, so
I know.
I mean,
Just keeping it in
yeah.
mind as far as conversational pieces.
I mean, unless we're gonna bash it, they'd probably like that.
Okay. All right. So so you guys land near the docks of Ruathim. And a number of the locals kind of come out to see because they've never seen an airship before. And you all land, and what do you do?
I push
Okay.
Alton forward again.
We're still in the air! Splash.
Sorry, I'll stop.
So what are you guys doing?
I will descend the ladder first and just kind of walk up to. This is more rural than like dock than anything else like that. So I don't think there'd be a dock master as much as there'd just be someone near the rest of the fishing boats. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of like young kids that are just fishing. Maybe like that, the token old guy who's just sitting there with a rod and he's probably asleep.
Token old guy.
I'm gonna stick with Alton.
Probably gonna get distracted by all the shiny trees and sand and beach
Mm-hmm.
tropicalness.
Oh man, I really need a pina colada now.
Okay, so
What's the pina colada?
what are you doing?
If the old man's asleep, I'm waking him up. Excuse me, old man.
Yeah,
Old one.
He immediately reacts thinking that there's a tug at his fishing pole, and just immediately starts like pulling it in. Realizes very quickly there's nothing on the end of it. Looks at you kind of angrily, like with bloodshot eyes, in this very like heavy accented kind of common. He says, who are you?
My name's Alton. Who are you?
Who the fuck is Alton?
I the fuck am Alton.
Why'd you wake me up?
Because I need to ask you some questions, and I'm willing to pay you for the answers.
And he just like squints at you. Where'd you come from?
A flying boat.
What?
I point at the airship.
And like the small children are like poking and laughing at each other, and they're like, some of them are mesmerized by the airship, and he looks up, and his eyes go kind of wide.
A flying boat.
And he turns, and like almost robotically, he just like stands up, leaves his fishing pole where it is, and just starts to walk into town.
Hey.
Like just doesn't say anything. Just
Okay.
like,
We're going that way apparently, because this old man is rude.
and these.
Alton, what did you say to him?
He asked where I came from. I said the flying boat. He saw the boat and he walked off.
Yeah, and he just starts walking into town. A couple other people like come out of their huts and their little houses and things, and they all start looking at you and watching him.
Okay. Into town. One of the people poking out their heads. Excuse me. Does your village have a constable or a headman, or I don't know what they're called around these parts. In halfling villages, we just call them mayor.
And he that they all start to just look at you and then point at what's coming into view, which is what appears to be like a fairly large, sturdy looking structure in the center of town. This one appears like all the wood here looks like, wood colored, that brownish kind of color, and this place is it's painted excuse me, in all black. And it looks like some of the wood on the front of it's been carved to look like waves.
Thank you kindly.
And this is where the old man is going.
I guess we're following now. Come on, everyone.
Is this supposed to be some kind of temple?
We'll find out when we get there. I promise not to intentionally perform sacrilege.
Comforting.
And yeah, he opens the door, and you see that there's beams of light that are illuminating this long temple, this long hall. And at the end of it, you see one large chair with a fairly old looking individual, and he's got armor on, he's got a weapon. But he's just sitting there. It looks much too old to be fighting. But standing all around him, near this kind of throne, are a bunch of young men, women, even children that look like they're, they look not combative, but ready for combat. And they all look very suddenly to the door and all of you entering. And a young man kind of leans down and whispers into the man's ear that's sitting in the throne, and he kind of sits up. It doesn't take long for you to notice that he appears to be blind. And the old man who's leading you in, the old fisherman, says he quite literally takes a knee, and he bends his fist to his forehead. He says, "My king, the strangers arrived in an airship. A ship rides on the air. It wasn't anywhere near the water. This little one is asking weird questions."
I didn't even get to ask a question yet. You walked away.
And the old man in the throne just like stomps his foot down, and the whole hall goes silent. He says, "I am king here. Come ye forward. This one that speaks."
I will walk up, not intentionally loudly, but making sure I'm not. You can hear me walking.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
and like somebody, this young man like leans down into his ear and begins whispering. And the king says, "What is your business here? Are you here to make war?"
Good morning, King. And yes, but not on you.
And he like snarls and his face contorts. And he just says to no one in particular, "Do they appear Luskin?" And like the young man kind of like leans down and whispers something in his ear. The old man in the throne says, "I don't like you. My grandson doesn't like you either.
That's nice.
Speak your business or be gone."
Looking for a ship shaped like a squid. Named the Morkoth.
He says, "Do I look like I've seen a squid-shaped ship?" That was hard to say.
Say it 10
Say
times fast.
Yeah, exactly.
As I was saying it, I was like, shit, this was a mistake.
In my defense, I wasn't coming here to ask you. I was asking the nice fisherman there, and
I am king here.
that's nice. Your Majesty, I didn't even want to disturb you.
I know all of the happenings on my island. This is why it was brought to my attention. Thank you, Kareem. And the old fisherman kind of nods, and he's like backed into a corner. He's like trying to make himself as small as possible. And the king says, "Why do you seek this ship?"
It kidnapped somebody. We're trying to get them back.
And the king appears to be thinking, and he kind of like beckons, and the grandson kind of leans over, and there's some whispering going on. And you all notice that like you're all being eyed up, like by all the people in this room. They're very keenly paying attention to you, the armor you're wearing, the weapons you're carrying. And the king
Beth
says,
waves to a few people.
I think I'm the only one not wearing her.
the king says, "What will you trade me for this information?"
A kiss?
And like very suddenly, like the grandson leans down, and there's some very frantic whispering.
Celinda.
And the king says, "My grandson does need an heir. He says you're not
no.
the hideous thing he's seen."
Excuse me.
Actually, that one just speaks out of turn rather frequently. Given how much you all value fishing, perhaps a set of enchanted armor that won't let you drown.
He says, "It is you who is speaking out of turn. My grandson wishes to mate with this one." And he like tries to point. You know he's trying to point to Celinda, but he can't. And Celinda, the young man makes eye contact with you and gives you like a very confident smile.
She regrets everything all of a sudden.
I mean, what's the worst thing that could happen?
Well, Celinda, you got yourself into this one. I'm just going to walk right back, get behind her, and push her forward.
I look to the grandson and I say, "This one's actually a man. Just likes to dress like a woman." And
I
point at Celinda.
declare Reginald.
Hey, I'm trying to
not
make
wrong.
you not able to be deliver heirs.
So Celinda, are you actually trying to back this play of Regides?
I'm gonna alter herself into a man.
And the grandson steps back, and all of the people in this room like reach for weapons. And the old man tries to stand up, blind as he is. He stands, and he's not a small guy. I mean, he's clearly in his day he was probably quite the fighter. And he stands up, and he has to put an arm on his grandson so that he doesn't like trip or as he's standing up. The king says, "What is the meaning of this? This devilry afoot in my temple?" Yeah, what do you guys do?
I glare at Celinda.
There is no devilry here, and allow us to apologize for any missteps we may have caused. Would you like a bottle of wine as a gift strictly for allowing us to be on your island. We can continue to discuss a trade for the information.
He says,
Oh.
I require none of your wine.
It's really good.
And the grandson kind of leans over and whispers in the king's ear. Before you do that, Elizabeth.
God damn it.
The king says, if that one will not bear my son and heir, there is another female among you.
Do you not have women here?
Of course we have women here.
So your son just doesn't have any luck with them.
My son has 2 wives already. He's looking for a third.
I thought this was your grandson.
I can't even keep track anymore.
This is turning into a bad skit.
Yeah, it was his grandson. You're right. He says, his wives have as yet been unable to produce an heir. Is this one fertile? Like mentioning Elizabeth, like you know.
This one is already married.
That doesn't seem to matter much here.
And the king says, I tire of this. There's no trade to be made here.
Well, you want something, but it seems I would be giving something to your grandson. That doesn't seem fair to me.
This is my kingdom. It is my decision to make. It is in the island's future, its well-being, to tend to my children, my grandchildren. The perpetuity of my kingdom.
It's not happening, boys. You know that.
No, it's not happening.
How strong does the grandson seem? Like, fighting-wise?
I mean, he's pretty built. I mean, everyone on this island, I mean, it's hard living, and it's reflected in their physique. Men and women alike. Yeah. So, the king says, I tire of this. You have nothing to offer me. You're wasting my time, my resources, and my patience.
Yeah, you're wasting ours too. Have a good life, you moron. And I walk out.
Hang on, let me roll my...
Alton, that's not necessarily appropriate. I mean, for all we know, they could attack this island too. But, I mean, if they're not going to give us any information, then, you know, they'll
Then
take
let
care
their
of
ship
themselves.
sink. He obviously doesn't care about his people. He wasn't even willing to hear about a trade offer for anything but getting his grandson's rocks off.
That's
No,
not true.
but-
He wanted a child.
I'm
I think
sorry.
they're talking out loud to try to
Yeah, we are literally saying this out loud.
goad the king into thinking someone's about to attack their.
And the
Their
king
ships.
the king just laughs mightily. He says,
I mean, we've got, what, two dragons to deal with already, a couple of giants. Like, we don't need to worry about these people too. Let them take care of themselves.
What's the king sitting in?
I mean, it's a throne made of, like, you know, wood and shelves and that sort of thing. Things that they could find locally.
Driftwood
I'd
throne.
like to levitate his throne.
I mean, he's not on it. You know that.
Yeah,
thought
he was
I just
standing
said, what's
with-
he sitting on?
No, you said, what's the throne made of?
I said, what's he sitting on?
Well, yeah, I said he stood up. He hasn't sat back down.
Mm,
So our goading's having no effect?
No, if anything, it's just making him. It's humoring them. They're clearly not afraid of anything that might attack them. They're interested in trade. That's been established.
I offered them
anything
enchanted
more.
armor, and all they didn't want. They didn't even blink at that one.
Yeah, they didn't want
Yeah.
your armor.
They don't want trade.
Yeah, they want. Anyway, well, I guess unless he's got granddaughters, then I'm sure Valen will be happy to.
I mean, there are women among them.
Wow. I mean, Valem here is the one more willing to.
But I mean, at this
Sire.
point, I feel like you guys are trying to leave. Like it doesn't.
Yeah, we're what?
I mean,
at least
how is he planning on getting children from us, anyways? Are we
I mean,
supposed to stay
generally,
here?
there's one guaranteed method of getting
Wait,
children.
wait 9 months,
Mm-hmm.
then
Yeah,
answer a
that's-
question.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Well, I mean, they want what they want, or you haven't offered them
Mm.
anything that's more interesting to them.
We could offer to not burn the town to the ground, I guess. That's always an offer.
no.
Does anything happen if I start moving towards the king?
I mean, all of the guards basically in the room, all of his family members will step forward to deny you to access to him, obviously.
Before she does that, I'm gonna note that Alton and I are walking out.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to burn this little hut down.
Hence why Alton and I won't no association with it.
I really wish I still had the fucking fire starter rune.
I am glad I got that away from you.
All right, so what are you doing?
Is nobody stopping me?
No.
What are you doing? You're charging
When
the
was it
king?
last? I've tried to stop you like every time you've tried to do something. It's never worked.
Eventually, you'll either learn or, well,
It won't be a problem anymore.
Yeah. Belinda's not very smart.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna walk towards him until somebody stops me.
I mean,
Like,
they will all
physically
block
stops
your
me.
access. Like they're not gonna let you get to the king. So they're all gonna
She's
step.
like, "You listen here, you old son of a bitch.
And
We need to find this fucking ship, and you're gonna tell us, or I'm gonna burn this fucking house down."
So sorcery it is then. And you know he gets a little excited. He said, "Your threats mean nothing to me. My kingdom has been destroyed and rebuilt more times than you can remember.
We just want the ship. We just want to know where it was last.
Then you will find it on the open seas." And he just like generally points at the door.
All right, but if we mistake your fishing vessels for it, don't be surprised, as Elton just goes right back to the airship.
Yeah, your threats seem meaningless to them.
Wish I stoned me sapphires.
So what are you doing? Is everybody leaving?
I guess it's back to Valem's plan to circle, like, a search party.
I suppose.
Okay. So you all return to the ship. Yeah. Is that definitely the plan then?
Yep.
So because I kind of missed it, what exactly are you doing now? Like how does this work?
Like we start on one side of the island, like right here,
Mhm.
and then let me get a draw. Then we just kind of fly in a circle, and we keep expanding out.
Just around this island.
Well, it keeps getting further and further and further.
Whoa, that just
Yeah,
appeared on the map. Okay.
A spiraling clockwise direction.
Exactly.
Okay, I got you.
I'm also going to keep an eye out on their boats to see if any of them seem in distress, if anything's being attacked,
Mhm.
because that'll also be a nice little, hopefully,
No,
useful.
I mean, yeah. I mean, this probably takes you a couple days to do this, because traveling in circles like that, I mean, it's a lot of miles.
Well, thankfully, we're with a group of boys that are not willing to sell the women.
Yeah. Also, it doesn't
I
really
think they
require
would have
fuel.
totally sold us if we'd allowed it. You
Well, yeah, no,
realize that,
if-
right?
If we were
If you
willing to
allow
do
it,
that,
you're selling
yeah.
yourself. It has nothing to do with us.
There was no
Um,
take one for the team.
So, yeah, like as you're circling over the next like day or two, you do see another island to the north. You spot no ships in the area. Like you spot small fishing vessels, but they don't seem to move very far out of the range of the island. of Ruithim. But you do spot this other island to the north.
Anything special
We
about
could try
it?
and ask maybe they have someone who will be a little bit more forthcoming with directions.
Perhaps.
Okay. Yeah. Are you gonna land there? As
I
everyone gets quiet.
suppose. I mean,
If we're
We don't
going
have
to
much else to
land,
go on.
maybe we should come up with the plan ahead of time. Maybe we
Well-
don't offer to sleep with them, or
No.
I mean, has the spyglass been doing us any good as far as like sighting ships out here, or like what have we seen with it?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's small fishing vessels around the islands, but you haven't seen any.
No weird weather patterns. Again, we assume we're looking for some kind of ghost ship, any kind of like pockets of mist or shroud. That
Nope.
seems, okay.
Unfortunately, not.
Alton, I'd hate to put you through it again, but I know Valem's god couldn't find the ship, but your boss seems to have a more some type of relationship with whatever it is we're looking for. He might be able to narrow our search.
I can try. I mean, Valem's got actual magic to do this. I have to just meditate and hope, but I'll give it a try.
Okay.
Perhaps.
That being said, if I start bleeding out the ears, let it happen because you can't do shit about it.
well, I tell you what. Before you try and do that, let me try and do this first. Wasn't able to
Also, someone
scry
eats
for it.
later.
But I'm gonna see if I can get direct assistance from Lathander, not just yes/no questions.
Okay.
It's only like a 10% chance of this working right now.
Yeah. I do want to look at one thing real quick about this spell. Shit. Oh, this isn't technically a spell?
Nope.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
It's a cleric thing.
So you have to roll a 10 or lower. Good luck.
Oh well.
It's worth a shot.
Might as well.
At level
yeah.
20, it works automatically. We just got to get a little higher level.
Okay.
So let's go burn
All
every
right.
village in the
Right.
the sea and get those levels.
I will. While we head towards the northern island, I will attempt to commune with my patron.
Okay. I'll ask before I say anything. Like, how do you think you would go about doing this? Aside from just meditating, like, what do you think is an appropriate role here? I suspect Arcana, but
Yeah, because this is not a god. I would say Arcana. Give it a shot, but
okay, yeah. Roll Arcana.
Celinda's gonna sit with him in case shit goes real south.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit went real south.
Well,
Unless he's rolling this like divine intervention, then shit went real right.
yeah. What it is initially, like, you start to meditate and you're trying to find that connection, and you just feel static, like inside your mind. It just reads like complete static. You do hear like the crashing of waves inside your mind, and it feels like you're meditating like that for like the better part of an hour. Celinda, as you're watching over him, as he like closes his eyes to begin meditating, it looks like he's having a seizure. Like his whole body is convulsing. Blood is starting to drip out of his nose.
She's gonna make sure he like doesn't bite his tongue off or fucking split his head open, banging it off the floor.
Yeah, like you're having to physically restrain him as his body's convulsing. And to you, Alton, this just feels like static inside your mind. You're just like almost forgiving the pun. You're kind of fishing around trying to find this connection, and you come up completely empty. As soon as you kind of try to open your eyes, Alton, that's when the pain hits you, because you realize your physical body is being it feels like you were hit by like a carriage. You are completely sore all over. You're surprised to find nothing's broken, but you do feel that kind of metallic, sticky liquid on your face from the blood, and you see Selenda like there trying to basically grapple you. You come to consciousness, a certain kind of consciousness, having failed at connecting with your patron.
Not how I picture waking up with beautiful women on top of me.
You pervert.
Just noticed, huh? Let me up. How bad am I?
Pretty bad. But I did manage to keep you from biting your tongue off or splitting your head open.
Fantastic. No answer. Either boss is pissed or I'm cut off. I try and make a minor spell, like minor illusion, just to see if I am cut off.
Yeah, it still works. I mean, it takes you a second of concentration just because you're so battered from your little adventure. But
oh, wait a minute. We have to redo all of that.
Why?
I can't roll ones.
Oh, fuck all. Damn it. Alton. That's not much better.
No, it's not. We'll keep it. I'm just saying.
So, all of that still happens.
That's fair.
You're just a little less sore.
But also, cutting through that static, you are able to discern something through that inky blackness. What you see... Oh, shit. Okay, here's what happens.
And Sean's been inspired by something terrible.
So, yeah. So through that static, you're trying to make out any sort of shapes. And something does come into view. And it looks very much like a tentacle. And it slowly, it appears to almost, without eyes or a face, it does appear to be observing you. Like trying to figure out what it is, what you are, where you are, why you're there. And then it slowly just kind of begins to wrap itself around your body. And you feel the suckers on you, and it is starting to squeeze, but it's not trying to kill you. At least not initially. And you feel it basically trying to figure out what you are and what your intent is. And then very abruptly, suddenly, the entire tentacle that is encompassing you just begins to squeeze. And it starts to pull you into a blackness that you can't... There's no detail there. It starts to pull you in very, very quickly. It's pulling violently. That's when you come back to consciousness. In Selenda's arms, you basically jerk violently. And there's a brief moment where you're between both worlds. And you get the distinct impression that that force is coming from the north, far to the north. And it almost pulls you in the actual material plane. It almost seems to pull you forward. Selenda, you feel him rip out of your hands as he's trying, his whole body seems to be getting pulled that way. And Alton, that's when you come to consciousness. If anyone's wondering for my inspiration there, I think I'm the only human that likes the film, but the movie Constantine.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
There's that scene where
She goes through all the walls.
yeah,
Yep.
That
I
way.
haven't seen it.
that's very much the scene that I'm picturing. And you come back to consciousness. You are in a lot of pain. You are bleeding. But yeah, you come back with all of that.
Whichever way my back is, that way, right now.
Yes, sir. Probably should go get Balaam as well. Look like you've been through hell.
Nah, hell be pleasanter.
Okay. So yeah, you guys have a direction, an idea. You would, I think, having learned that, excuse me, why don't we take our break here? Seems like a good time.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, let's
I
take
will
our,
get.
Alrighty.
okay, let's take our break. We'll be back in about. I'm gonna be back about 10 after, so like 8 minutes.
Sounds good.
I'm just gonna leave John
All right.
a message in Discord. so not natural state of being. Cool. So you guys, Alton just got some, let's call it information. So, Alton, would you like to describe to us how you're acting on that information or what you're telling your compatriots?
In the first place, I am taking a very long minute to get up. And I'm not bothering to wipe the blood away because I'm certain I'm bleeding at least from the nose. I'm going to look at Celinda, go, did I hurt you?
No.
Okay, good. We need to go that way. And I point behind me. And whatever is down there is strong enough to... It's strong enough to get between me and the boss, so...
Well,
And it has a very long tentacle, and I'm gonna throw up now. And I'm gonna like just leer right over the side and start retching.
you seem like you have a very unpleasant relationship with your boss.
Better than being dead.
I don't know about that. As she watches you exit your stomach of all its food. Yeah, we don't know about that.
Tentacle coming up from the deep north.
Okay. So you, presumably you tell the rest of the crew.
Yeah, after I take a minute to clean myself up. I'll tell Celinda right away. That's just because she's there.
Okay. So yeah, you guys, you tell everybody. I assume that you guys are going to head north. The question here, I guess, is how far north? And it was pretty clear to you, Alton. I think I tried to describe it, but it's pretty clear that, like, it's pretty far north. Like, it's not just simply like, oh, like 10 miles that away.
No, we're going north for a day at least.
Sorry, Elizabeth, I think you were saying something.
I was gonna say, Bethel will take the spyglass and go up into the crow's nest, looking down into the sea, kind of like to try and have a better, keep an eye out for whatever we're looking for. You know what? Now I want waffles tomorrow. Damn it.
Okay, sorry. So, yeah. So you're heading about a day's ride north. I'm assuming, you're probably going to try to pass that other island, or are you stopping over it?
Was his I mean, does...
I think pass over it if we have a destination in mind, like, or a place to start looking.
Less a destination, more a direction. That being said, Sean, can I make a history check to see if I know about deep sea creatures with tentacles that aren't the boss?
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
Nope.
There's other creatures down there. I mean, it's weird that you do recognize. I mean, obviously, you don't need to roll for this, but like, it's weird that something would be messing with a boss like that. Like, it's kind of his domain, and it's. I mean, this is pretty strange. I know that's probably me saying like literally nothing, but that's okay.
Does it seem like an arcane thing?
I mean, yeah, definitely.
Could I roll Arcana to see if I know anything about it?
I don't think it's a different domain than your domain. I think. So yeah, you guys are heading further north. Yeah. So you head further north. And Elizabeth, I think, is the first to see it. You spot more land as you're using the spyglass. Let me close these other things, clean up my UI here a little bit. The first thing you see is this string of small rocks, like small islands, to the south there. Sorry, gonna burp. Excuse me. Yeah, you see this cluster of rocky islands, and you might be able to, from a great distance, see like what look like two small towns on these separate settlements.
Do they look intact or recently raided? Can I see that much?
No, actually. In fact, what you see is that they look wholly intact. One might even say they appear to be thriving.
Do I know enough from everybody else's research to know if this would seem normal or abnormal?
I mean, that's your assumption to make. I don't think. Like, that's up to you to decide. Goes in tight. Jesus.
I'll just come down and let everybody know, like, we're coming up on a string of islands and there's some thriving cities, but they don't exactly seem ravaged at all. Alton, are your tentacle senses tingling?
Don't say that, please.
Beth, that's really insensitive.
What? How is it?
Meanwhile, she's giggling about it.
I think we try my technique again once we get around here. Just circle and hopes of finding it.
All right.
Is that what you're doing?
It's a good start, but I'm going to look for a larger settlement that we can. I'm not doing this whole little baby wannabe king thing twice.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Can I actually set things on fire if it doesn't work this time?
How about you don't offer to kiss them this time, and we won't have to set things on fire?
Well, I would have just given him a little smooch, but that was a little bit more than the smooch that he wanted.
You still offered something of a personal nature.
Okay. So yeah, is that the plan? You're just going to circle around, or are you going to land?
I don't think landing benefited us before. I don't think it's going to do it again.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you guys did begin to circle your thing again. You start your spotting, and it takes a few days. It's a lot of miles to cover, a lot of sea to cover, and I think about on on the third day. You, who, Elizabeth, are you on the crow's nest? Like, who's...
Unless somebody else wants to be up there, I presume. I mean, I'm assuming the cultist is up there if I take a nap, but...
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, so on about the third day, we'll say Elizabeth, just because I don't want to have one of the NPCs see it, you do spot a ship out at sea. It's alone. It has a very strange shape, and it's even from this height, it's hard to make out. Like, its details are kind of fuzzy to you, but it's there.
I'll take the spyglass, kind of look at it like the opposite way, clean the lens, look again. Is it still fuzzy?
Yeah, it's clearly a ship, and even from this distance, I mean, you can see some things moving around. but it's hard to make out. But you do see, you're going to see here in a moment, but the shape of the ship is very unusual. Not just the outside, but the inside. It almost appears to be, and the best way I can think to describe it for the moment is kind of hollowed out. The outside is generally kind of squid shaped, but the inside looks like, normally you can just see the top layer of the ship, the top deck. Obviously you wouldn't be able to see beneath it. That's how ships work. But this one, it looks like there's a section of it where there's not a top deck, where it drops down.
Like bowl shaped?
Kind of, yeah. Like you can almost see the belly of the ship, and there appears to be something there. Very large, hard to make out.
I'll slide down from the crow's nest, and who do I see first as far as who's on deck?
Well, I'll let you guys decide who Elizabeth greets.
Who's on deck?
I'm probably up there.
I'm probably up there too, just because I'm below sounds boring.
I'll tug at Ready's sleeve, and I don't know if your eyes are any better than mine, but what do you make of that? And I'll point in the general direction and hand him the spyglass.
All right, I will take a look, and seeing the same thing Beth saw. I think that looks like a ship that is different from all the other ships we've seen.
Maybe squid-like?
I mean, when I was picturing the way when they said squid-like before, I kind of imagined all the tentacles coming out in different directions. But I guess that could be considered squid-like.
I haven't seen a lot of squids, like maybe one in a book. So, hey guys, I think we found our boat. Just kind of call over her shoulder to Celinda on deck and the crew, I guess. Kendrick.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Out of character, how quiet is our boat?
I mean, I kind of assumed that it's more or less silent, right? Because, I mean, it's not fueled by engines, unless you consider elementals engines, which maybe you do.
Well, even with hot air balloons, you can kind of hear the fire, usually. But...
yeah, I mean, maybe there's some sound from the fire elemental. That does make sense.
I just want to try to fathom how close we can get without causing concern.
Fathom, really?
Nice. Yeah. And I think one of the reasons it's so visible to you, obviously, is it's pretty much broad daylight out. Again, I think if it were nighttime, it would be pretty hard to see. I mean, harder to see than it already is, I guess. Excuse me.
All right. Well, if this is our vessel, and they're keeping King Hecaton, I think as soon as we get into range, they're probably going to start firing at us. If they've attacked the other ships.
So I'll go man a turret. Woman a turret. Man's the right term, right? Looking at Elton.
Hump a turret.
Yep.
Hump a turret.
I think the important
Humpadink.
thing here
Humpadink.
is that we don't sink the ship, though, if it has King Hecaton on it.
Yes, Celinda.
King Hecaton
No ship
is,
sinking.
King Hecaton's a storm giant. Can he breathe underwater?
Not if he's magically incapacitated.
So, since you guys are all, aware of the ship now, you've kind of brought everybody up on top deck. Why don't we? Well, I guess I should ask a leading question. Are you getting closer, or are you just flying at a good safe distance? What you assume is a safe distance, so that it doesn't necessarily spot you.
What I would like to do now is come up with a plan prior to approaching it.
I say safe distance, but the same direction it's going. So parallel, but
Yeah, I'd like a little bit of
mile
vision.
out or something.
Pace it, don't approach.
Yeah, but if vision's fuzzy, I'd like to get a better like idea of what we're looking at too. So maybe a little closer if we can safely get there.
If King Hecaton is being held captive, we're going to have to get onto the ship. So, would you guys propose that we run to it? Maybe as opposed to flying up to it where they would see us? I mean, if we were able to run alongside of it and climb the side of the ship?
What if we waited until night?
Running's not a terrible idea, but how fast is the ship moving? Like, is it just coasting along, or?
Yeah, I mean it's moving at a good clip, but it's not moving faster than you. Yeah, it definitely doesn't move faster than the airship. I think mechanically it's a sailing ship.
I mean, if we were to get out and maybe run to the ship, like run along the water so that they don't see a vessel approaching, would we be able to realistically catch this boat?
Oh,
Does it look like it's changing direction? Because maybe instead of trying to run up behind it, we drop off in front of it.
But then somebody ahead that's might be keeping a lookout in front of it will see us.
I don't think we can outrun a boat.
Who's gonna believe? Hey, there's people running towards us. They're gonna put them in
Why
sick
don't
bay.
we just wait until night?
I mean, it depends on how far we're going to drop. If we wait until night, it'll be even harder for us to track the ship.
Yeah.
Like, it's low in the water. Once we're down there, it's going to be hard to spot. Nighttime, even harder.
I think the same question, even at nighttime, though, is how we would approach it.
Yeah. I like the idea of walking, but I don't know logistically how close we could get or would need to get before.
Right.
I think we're gonna.
Well, I
get
like the
spotted
idea
no
of
matter
dropping
what.
off in front of it, but at nighttime they wouldn't see us, so we drop off in front of it. It comes to us, and then we just climb aboard.
Celine, did you have invisibility?
Greater invisibility.
There's also
Ugh.
a scroll or a potion of greater invisibility.
That only lasts a minute, though.
Yeah. I can make 5 people invisible with a cast, or 4 people invisible with a cast. So if we're water walking and if this thing's not deviating direction with only one person in the water, we actually could just let this thing come right to us and get on board. Although I'd be perfectly honest, I am horrified of sitting in the water, given what I've seen recently. So that will not be me.
Well, again, we won't. My plan, we wouldn't even need to get into the water. We just stand on top of it.
I meant going near it.
Okay, I have to ask a question.
mm-hmm.
Are we like within a mile of this boat? You'd say
I mean that's up to you. I assume.
safe distance.
Yeah.
I think
Can I-
no closer than a mile.
Can I use my primeval awareness? Can I do that for a favored creature? Oh no, that's just dragons, not giants. Okay, never mind.
So are you guys? You're still tracking this thing basically.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So presumably one of you or all of you are kind of like swapping the spyglass between each other, keeping an eye on it. Why don't just all of you roll me a perception check, or let's just say all of you roll a perception check. Wow.
I still keep rubbing my eyes, thinking the fuzz is me.
So yeah, I kind of figured it would be Valem because his perception's already wicked high anyway. So Valem, you're the one who notices it. As you're tracking it, you guys are kind of like passing the spyglass back and forth and talking about your plans and what have you. You're able to kind of get a better idea of like how this thing is shaped and everything through the spyglass. The thing is definitely squid shaped. It's weird. Like when you're looking at it, it is hard to see, but there are in fact like tendrils or tentacles that come off the back of it that appear to be like part of the ship. And there is in fact a top that it is kind of, I don't know how to describe the shape of it, which you'll see in a moment. But it does kind of come to a point that cuts through the water. But the thing that really draws your eye is as you guys keep looking at it and you're trying to make out the details. The center of the ship that I described, you're barely able to make it out. And it does take you a minute or two to try to figure out what you're seeing. But in this kind of hollowed out center of the ship where you can see into the belly of it, you do see what appears to be a giant that is laying with its back in the ship, and it's not moving. Like you can actually see it, not clearly, but you can see it even from up here.
Yeah, that's our man. So yeah, there's definitely a giant aboard. Like I said, we need to do this while we're on the boat itself. We can't sink the boat, obviously. I think we just need to finalize our plan, whether you want to wait till nightfall, maybe hover above and rappel in, or...
What about combination of things? Water walk, nightfall. We all drink our giant-sized potions, and then we all go invisible, except for one person.
Does it look like the boat can support 6, 7 giant-sized things? 6. Sorry, I was counting. Slater, for some reason.
All hail Slater. Okay, I have an idea. It's awful, but it might work.
Well, I mean, I can technically use my armor and look kind of... I think, couldn't I look like iridescent? Like the sea just kind of reflects off me as like a semi-invisibility, like the mirrors trick?
Yeah.
Sean,
Go ahead.
I was going to ask, do I see any other crew members? I mean, if I'm seeing a giant in the middle of it.
Yeah, in fact, you do. That's a good question. Sorry, I should have answered that.
Are they giants?
They're not. There's no way the shapes you're seeing are big enough to be giants. And they look, your best guess is humanoid. Quite a few of them that move around the ship. Definitely no giants.
I could cast a silence spell on the deck of the ship, and we can fast rope down, see if we can move around the crew. If not, we could start a fight in the silence. Maybe it won't draw more people to us, but I think, we can see the giant that's being held. I think our primary goal would be getting him loose and getting off the ship.
So I kind of feel like at this point I should show you what you're seeing just because I think that will be useful to you. Let me just check a thing though. Yeah, that's okay. I already put your tokens down, so there's that. Move you over here. You're seeing the top view and the side view, which I think would be really useful for you.
Well, this is perfect because we could fast rope, drop down on this back end, which is, if I think, far enough away from the crew. I think with the silence spell, they would never hear us. And then we just rush them.
That sounds fun. What about Pass Without a Trace?
Yeah, I mean, any kind of stealth work that we can do, that's definitely going to help.
I don't like the idea of being on the tendrils just because unless for some reason they're perfectly sturdy, that's a good way to get knocked off.
Well, I mean, this portion looks like it's off of the water from the side view anyway. It looks like these two outer ones are probably used for steering and whatnot. So they seem to dip down below it. I think we would be fine on this part up here.
Suppose me just dropping down from the sky, polymorphing King Hecaton, and jumping overboard with him is not a good idea, huh?
Well, we have to assume the bindings aren't magical. They've got to be keeping him down somehow.
True.
Mhm.
Okay, so is that the plan then?
I think if we go in silently, we'll be able to overwhelm enough of them that we'll be able to free King Hecaton without causing
Perhaps-
a large ruckus.
Perhaps one of us should focus on freeing King Hecaton. Perhaps once he's free, he could help.
I like that as an initial plan, but we'll see if it survives first contact.
I mean, plans never do, but
I'm thinking of the ship when we left the Frost Giants' kingdom, where they had the dragon chain down, and he was obviously trying to use a magic word to free him, and then he was had to resort back to smashing the chains. Obviously, we don't know any type of magic words that would free something like that, so whoever's going to focus on it needs to be strong enough to break chains. So if that's going to be the plan,
I'm strong now.
God's help us all.
I mean,
Which essentially means it's Reggie.
I actually have more strength than Reggie.
All right, so just so
but
I
do you
get
have
this right,
something that would break the chains?
I mean, can't she technically heat them?
at this point we've been watching for a while. How fast is
It's
this ship
frost-
moving compared to, like, how fast could we run? Could we run on water and get alongside this boat without it just drastically outpacing us?
No, I mean, yeah, you could. It's running. It's moving. You would guess at about between 2 and 3 miles an hour. It's not moving real fast.
No, I meant on foot if we were water walking. I know we can catch up with it, the airship.
No, I know, but I'm saying like it's 2 to 3 miles an hour. Can you run 3 miles an hour? Yeah, probably.
We can walk 3 miles an hour.
Yeah.
That's not.
Okay, then
Like swimming, it might be an issue, but walking, yeah, I don't see that being an issue at all.
Then I like Phelim's original plan of running up alongside it.
The only issue becomes now we have to climb up the side of it, as opposed to just fast roping down on the back of it.
what if we fast drop down on the
Um,
front of it?
How much do we all collectively weigh?
A lot.
Because I can levitate, I think, 800 pounds.
Not including equipment, Valem's like 220 or something.
Yeah,
I think
don't
we're
we
like
can do
at
that.
least
Phelim's
1,000
200 pounds.
with all our stuff.
We're what?
We're at least 1,000 pounds with all our stuff.
Okay, I can only levitate 500 pounds.
Beth is like 175.
Yeah, with equipment, Valem is 316 pounds.
Linda's probably about only 120.
Let's parachute onto the back of it. I like that plan. Storm them.
All right.
I'm fine with whatever, but okay.
Stealth hasn't really served us well in the past.
Well, I want to cast silence like right over here before we fast rope in.
Okay, all right. So
That'll be like a wall of silence between us. So if
okay.
anyone slips, if anyone,
Yeah, and before we take to the ropes, I'll go ahead and do pass without trace.
So why doesn't everyone right now? Sorry, I'm moving my mic. Everyone roll stealth to get down aboard the ship. And you're waiting for nightfall.
yeah.
Excuse me. All right. So why don't actually let me roll first, just so I know what I'm rolling against here. Somebody wanted. Ooh, that's pretty good.
Also, I'm going to use invisibility so it only looks like one person is parachuting down anyway.
Who?
So that would give us all advantage, except for the one that.
Well, wait a minute. You're giving invisibility to everyone.
All but
Except-
one person.
You
I
auto
auto cast at 5th level.
Who's
Uh,
got the best stealth?
Probably.
Probably
Elizabeth.
me.
Yeah.
And I can again, I can do the glamour armor. I can make that black just to maybe give me some extra kind of stealthiness in the dark. Tuck my hair up,
Go full ninja. Yeah, got it.
Exactly. Ninja
All right.
Beth.
So it sounds like Elizabeth is the only one who has to make stealth. Well, yeah, Elizabeth, make a stealth roll.
Normal advantage, what?
Trying to think. Probably with it. Well, you already have pass without a trace, right? So that's plus 10.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll give you advantage for using the glamored armor. It's a clever use of it. 21.
So 31.
31. Okay. And then everyone else, I feel like you don't even have to roll. Like the only thing you could do is they could hear your footsteps.
Technically you're supposed to, but I mean.
Well, I know, but the thing is,
that's
like,
just-
Well, I
Veilum
didn't bring it
silence
up, but
and
I
invisibility.
cast silence.
right?
Right.
I was gonna say Valem casts silence, so it's like even with your footsteps, there's really no
Yeah.
way. Yeah, I mean, I feel like you can get on board the ship easily. Like I feel like there's no roll. Like it would be redundant to do it. So yeah, you guys rappel yourselves down like a SWAT team onto the ship. So yeah, you guys are all aboard the Morkoth. Congratulations. What do? You obviously clearly have a moment now. The thing with Elizabeth, you're basically completely black. They can't see you. So you guys can easily walk up to right behind those guards. Now, the thing with invisibility is once you start doing things, do you all become visible? Or is that on Alton's spell? Like,
Well, if any of us casts a spell or takes a attack action, we become visible. And if Alton loses concentration, we all become visible.
okay.
What
Got
he
it.
said.
Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, you guys,
And-
you're in control here.
Given that I can't see anybody, I'm assuming we would have talked about this beforehand. So long as I'm down here, I'm gonna stay here, in the back, just kind of hidden, because I've got range, so I don't have to get up in the dirty. I can give cover fire if something goes south.
That's true.
I'll take point.
Okay. All right, so you guys start your approach.
Dun, dun,
And
dun, dun,
clearly,
dun, dun, dun.
as you guys, I will, give you maybe a little more detail, not that you need it. You do see all these guards. There is, in fact, I guess I should describe this. The person behind the wheel of this ship, I believe, is not human.
It's half.
I believe it's a half orc. The flying deck up here sports 2 loaded swivel-mounted ballistae. There are what appear very clearly, I mean, you can make out the tokens. They look like cultists that are standing with this half orc. They're like on the ballistae. Yeah, and none of them have noticed you at all.
I'm assuming we would have discussed at least a little bit of our initial attack plan ahead of time. So I know we don't want to sink the ship until we rescue the king, but
This is a very sloppy zone of silence where this is at.
Okay, got it. Yeah, so you guys have an opportunity here. You definitely, like, if you want to attack, you definitely will all have advantage. But you tell me what you want to do. As everyone goes completely silent.
Would we want me? Okay, so would we want
Balaam,
me
your spell is
back?
too powerful.
Yeah.
Since Beth is the only one that's not going to break invisibility, do we want her to do the opening attack and draw attention to herself, essentially?
Well, I mean, we're all back here, so one
Because
thing's
technically, I can shoot out a lightning arrow, hit him, and if those are ballista, I should be able to damage them as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we
Yeah.
do,
I think
Yeah.
Celinda firing the first shot makes sense. As
I think just simultaneously we just do a 3-2-1 countdown and we all just simultaneously make an attack.
Walk up and burning hands them all and not even.
Honestly, I could rifle a fireball all the way up here.
Yeah.
but then we also risk hitting both the king and sinking the ship.
The ship
Right.
seems pretty sturdy.
I don't think one fireball.
Then go for it.
The only other thing that I would be concerned with a fireball, not to mention actually my lightning arrow, we're doing this at night. That'll destroy any kind of night kind of vision that
That's
we
also
may
true.
have accommodated, like become accustomed to. I know
don't
dark
get it.
vision's a
Yeah.
thing, but it still affects because again, it's black and white versus vibrant, flashing color.
I think again, once we unload, we're no longer in stealth mode. I think that's
Oh, yeah.
when lights start coming out, and we just.
Yeah,
But this at least gives us the advantage of having the
So-
upper hand in this fight.
Okay.
fireballs when y'all see Beth's lightning arrow and stay out of the middle.
All right. So what are y'all doing?
Yeah, so I'll initiate the attack and then they'll take their actions, right?
Yeah.
Surprise around.
All right.
So Elizabeth, you're attacking with a lightning arrow to the
Yep.
creature. Okay.
Focusing on the captain or the driver.
Okay.
I have surprise, so advantage, yeah?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Sorry, I've got a cat climbing on me. Newton, not right now. Go over there. Okay.
Okay. 29. So 12 damage from the initial. Oh no, there's not a hunter's mark, so it's just 10.
Yeah.
So let me do the 10 to him. And then
23 to him, actually, because he takes the initial lightning. And then the
13.
14 would be to everything around him.
do they make? Oh, they do make saves.
That was a mistake.
I don't need healing yet, Phelan. Thanks.
Okay, so wait, they make dex saves of 14. He definitely makes his. And then let me pull up the cultists. And it's just the two on the sides of him.
Yes.
They definitely fail. So he takes half? So he takes another 7. Because he made the save, right? And then they take.
The half
he
orc
doesn't
doesn't
get to
take
make
the
the
14. He
What's
doesn't
that?
make a save. The half orc doesn't need to make the save. He just gets hit. It's the people that get the area of effect damage that make the save.
Right. So
half-
the half orc will take 23 regardless. And then the
Oh.
two people on the side will each take 14 if they don't make the save, 7 if they do.
Okay, they definitely fail. So, we get the light show. The half orc is damaged, but he's still looking pretty hardy. The two cultists on the side look very bad off from that one hit. So who's next? Who gets the next attack?
Don't I get an extra attack? I have a
Yes,
second attack.
yes. I don't think you get advantage on this one though.
Oh no, surprise is definitely broken.
Right. So yeah, who are you attacking?
Still going for the captain.
Half orc. Got it. Roll it up. Definitely hits. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I
Okay.
didn't call the sharpshooter on that one, so you can make it 14 if you want to. Like I said, I usually call that.
Oh, okay. You're right. All right. So I'm almost giving him. All right. God, no, stop. 10, okay. Yeah. So he takes some significant damage. He's still up, looking rough. Who's next?
Probably either me or Valem. Dropping a fireball.
You
Okay,
could go.
One of the casters.
I'm waiting till all the
Um,
casters go.
Sure.
Okay. Were you gonna do the back ones or the front?
I'm gonna do the front because I'm gonna do a different thing.
Well,
than
wait.
fire.
Won't a fireball hit all of them? Because the fireball's 20 feet.
No,
I
wrong
mean the
front.
ones
Wrong
in the back
front.
here.
Oh. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'll drop a fireball on those back ones, just far enough back not to hit Hecaton.
Gotcha. So I gotta make some deck saves. Half orc fails.
Oh shit! I'm gonna re-roll a lot of that.
Oh, actually,
so-
hang on. Before you reroll, please don't just yet, because actually I forgot the cultists make their save, but I feel like he has, yes. So he saves regardless. Okay. So they all save, but if you want to go ahead and reroll now.
Okay, I'm gonna re-roll 4 of those. That is a D6.
Conrad, you need to build a macro for this. 10,
For what? Rerolling?
6, so your base is 16 plus whatever you roll here. 32. Yeah, so 32 damage. Good
Nice.
work. So they actually take half, so it's 16. However, 2 cultists in the front are immediately annihilated. The ones that Elizabeth hurt before.
I hit them on the back here.
Oh. That's the front.
Or front. I meant behind these guys.
Now
Yeah,
I gotta-
the ones in the forecastle.
Ah. Oh, shit.
I thought you were going after these guys too.
Yeah, because you said the
Because-
guys in
Because
back.
what
Well,
I
it-
was gonna
that's
do,
what-
we can't.
okay.
What I was gonna do, we can't run through it. We're not gonna want to run through it.
Oh, well then we could. I thought you meant the ones in the forecastle or the aft castle were the ones you were gonna.
Why don't
Yeah.
we just, for ease sake, say that you hit these guys so that I don't have to kill myself trying to figure this out?
Yes,
I
that's
like it.
fine.
6, and then he takes 60.
You're gonna put wall of fire up, aren't you?
No. So one of my new spells.
Okay, so
Fancy.
two of the cultists are immediately obliterated. The half-orc is still up, and the two cultists in the back... Oh, okay. Two cultists in the back are looking pretty burned. But they're still up. So, Valem, you're next.
Okay. I'm gonna start basically at the head of Hecaton and move this way,
Gotcha.
and it is gonna encompass all these people. I'm casting Dawn,
Okay.
and this is straight sunlight,
So they're going to make a con save.
so we don't have to worry about seeing anything because there is now a 40-foot high, technically 60-foot diameter wall of sunlight right there now,
Okay. Sure.
and I get to move it as a
So,
bonus action every
I
turn.
let Thander be purged.
So the first thing that happens is all of those cultists are immediately annihilated as the dawn rips through them and just tears them apart, and there's nothing left. So
Lathander.
So that's your action, right?
Yes.
I think Alton and Reggie, you still have a move here. I assume you want to let
Yep.
Alton go first, Reggie.
Yeah, I just don't want to be in the middle of anybody's fireballs.
Mm-hmm.
Pew pew.
Why not? You'll be fine.
Who are you shooting, Alton?
The first one was at this top one. The second one was at this bottom one.
Okay. The first guy is destroyed by Eldritch Blast. I think his body just goes flying off and splashes into the sea. The second one, obviously, you don't hit.
Yeah, no. Second one, I'm lucky it didn't explode in my hand.
Reggie?
All right, so I will run up
Cause
to the 30 feet and make 2 attacks against the guy that's left.
The cultist?
Yeah, the one cultist that's still standing.
Gotcha.
So let's see. Longsword.
Oh my god. That's a lot of red today, guys.
Oh.
The second one definitely hits.
Wait, son of a bitch!
Oh, you
It's already past your turn. It's
Yeah.
already past
Yeah, I
your
know.
turn.
Son of a bitch!
Do- You know there's a setting in
It's
the gear.
set. It doesn't work.
Oh, okay. I've never been a halfling, so I don't know if it works or not, but
Oh no. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, this is gone now.
What's gone?
Silence.
Oh, sure. Yeah, okay. So Reggie, your first slash obviously misses. You're trying to navigate the rocking of the boat, and I think that's probably what throws you off. You just come running, charging at him with your sword, and you just miss. But the second time, you're easily able to get your bearings and just bring it down and just destroy him. Now, I think we're going to roll initiative. So yeah, this light that there's no more silence, and the light that Lathander just put up is going to be a nice roll.
Reggie is on his game.
Did I? I did. Cool.
His calisthenics paying off.
Not a great roll. And then we'll do.
Oh, Linda.
Okay. Did everyone roll?
Yep.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So we open with Reggie, which is really perfect. So Reggie, you're standing there with this corpse of a cultist in front of you. The half orc is now spun on you, and he is wielding. I will tell you what he is wielding: a short sword and a light crossbow.
all right. So I'm just gonna look to him and say, "Hi," and then make 2 longsword attacks as I step forward.
So very proper.
Yeah, roll it up. That one hits. Also hits. 22. Nice, good damage.
And I'm gonna put disarming attack on the second one.
Okay.
Make him drop his sword.
Strength save. Da. Does he have? Okay, no. Yes. So, and he takes the extra 7 damage.
Yeah.
Okay, so he takes 7 more damage as you disarm him. So his sword clatters to the deck.
And then I just run past him and jump down towards where King Hekaton is.
Okay. So I will describe, which I think I've meant to do and I forgot. You can clearly see Hekaton. This actually matters, I guess, so I should describe it. Sorry. So the first thing you notice, which is real weird, as you're jumping down, is Hekaton's eyes are open. But he appears to be basically, in our parlance, in a coma. He's breathing, but nothing else. And there are 4 chains that are stretched across him. Very heavy-looking chains. And they appear somehow like bound, intertwined really with the ship. And there are actually 2 cultists down here, which you would know if... sorry. Because this thing has several layers. If you want to move your token down here when I free it up, you'll see. But there you go. Yeah. Should if you can see it, I'll ping
Down into that.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the lower deck. So there are actually 2 cultists down here guarding his body.
Let me drag my token there.
So you jump down. The next thing that's going to happen, and you do see, Reginald, that there's another deck, right? You're in the lowest deck. There is actually like a middle deck. Just above you, there's like some stairs and ladders that get you up there. The rest of you, because Reggie's already jumped down, you don't know his name, the half-orc, the half-orc pulls this... the half-orc pulls this like acrobatic maneuver where he like just sort of dives over, grabs with his hands on that deck, and swings himself somewhere.
So he's in between me and the rest of the party now.
There's actually a room there, Reginald, above you, like a door, and he just like kicks open the door, slams it shut. So he's slightly above you, but he doesn't seem to be engaging with you, which is real weird. Elizabeth, you're next.
I have no targets that I can see.
True.
So, 30 feet there. Don't I have a thing for that? No. Shit. Okay, so dash. I don't suppose from here I can see down onto that middle deck, can I?
I mean, the angle of it, you might be able to see Hekaton's head.
I just because the middle deck is not actually something I can see on the shading.
Oh, actually, Reggie, you're on the wrong deck. That's okay.
Oh, whoops. Okay.
You're down here. That's
I couldn't tell which one was which.
But I'll clear that deck up too for you guys because now you're getting close enough that you can see it. So yeah, you can see it's the main deck here on the map.
Right. So I think I can see.
You can't
maybe?
actually. There should be a wall there. Is it? Yeah, there's a wall there.
There's a wall, but it's
that's a
only
wall.
on one side. Like
I wonder. Okay, so I'm gonna move here because I'm assuming it's just gonna be parallel. That way I can, and I know this thing here is actually closed. All right, so I can't actually see down there. All right. That's my movement. That's my turn.
Okay. All right. Valem.
Very similar. I'm going to move forward here, and the sunlight, the dawn spell,
Mm-hmm.
I get to move this as a bonus action. I want to move it to the side of the ship here, like around, so I'm not burning King Hekaton with it.
Sorry.
I want to put it so that it's like right off the.
Okay, that's
side.
actually interesting. So since you do that, I'm gonna do you a thing here. So your light hits the water and it illuminates, and because it's Lathander's sunlight, of course, it basically penetrates the darkness of the ocean, and it actually illuminates something now that you couldn't see before, because of exactly where you put it. There are these 2 sea creatures that seem to be like pacing the boat, and the light hits, and they sort of scatter away from it instinctively. And it does appear that they are armed, and they are wielding harpoons. They look like they're getting ready to throw them.
Okay, well, they're going to feel Lathander's might because they're going to start burning.
Can you hit both?
It is 30
Yeah.
feet in diameter, so yeah, 6
Yeah.
feet across.
All right. Con save. They actually save. So they're going to take
9.
9 damage.
9.
Okay. And you actually, Elizabeth, you probably hear it before it draws your attention that like the water starts boiling under this dawn sunlight. And you can weirdly hear their screeches from under the water. They're kind of muted because of the water, but you can actually hear it.
With Phelan right next to me, I'm just gonna smirk at him. Lathander, guide my arrows.
There you go.
Well, that was just my bonus action.
Mm-hmm. You still have an action.
So as my actual action, I'm going to cast Fireball down at these fellers too.
Fire what?
Fireball.
Okay.
Fireball.
Fire.
Fireball.
Dex saves. DC 17. They both fail, so they're going to take 26 damage each. And you basically only catch their faces as they're like breaching the water, but it's more than enough. They're still alive, but they seem to be like pulling away a little bit as you see the steam rising from the water, which just for a moment obscures your vision until the dawn just like clears all of it away and you can very clearly see them under the water.
I'm probably killing so many fish right now.
It's true. After the scene ends, we're just going to see like a school of fish float to the surface dead.
And they're pre-boiled. We're good.
So, now it is their turn, which is maybe bad news. Let's see, how far? Ooh, so 60 feet. Oh, they can actually hit, but well, that one can, that one can't. Okay, so the first one, the closest one to you, is gonna chuck a harpoon at you, Valem.
Wonderful. I'm not within 30 feet of him, or am I?
Yeah, you are. I think so, because I'm within 30 feet.
Okay. Warding Flare.
Yeah, he's within 30 feet of you. Okay. Yeah, so 12. So it just like whizzes past you. It is on a rope, though. You hear it splash on the other side of the boat. And like you hear the creature snarl and start to reel it in. The one behind him is also going to throw. He's already at disadvantage because he's too far from you. He actually hits with a 22.
Wow. Yeah.
So you take
He's 20.
8 piercing damage. Also, I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Oh, God.
Strength contest, technically, which you're probably going to win.
Probably not. Is that just athletics?
Yeah, strength athletics, yeah.
Really not my best.
Good
Oh.
enough. Yeah, so you can feel the marrow is trying to pull on you with a harpoon that's impaling you. And it's pulling pretty well, but you're strong enough that you're able to resist it. So that happens. Now, on the other side of the ship, 2 more marrow
Oh, there's more, of course.
float to the surface. And
They'll
these,
rip me in half.
well, they're not going to. Interestingly, I don't think they're going to try to harpoon you because that's counterintuitive. They're clever enough to, I think, to do that. So they're going to actually chuck at Elizabeth because she's the next closest thing. So the first harpoon is a regular check against you, Elizabeth.
18.
Yeah, so it misses. It just slams past you. The second one's also going to throw, but it's at disadvantage. So it rolls an 8. So yeah. So you just see these 2 harpoons whiz past you, Elizabeth. And the marrow are like snarling and clearly wanting to like eat you. Alton, your turn.
I see harpoons flying all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to run up, look over, and go, and just start shooting.
Okay. The ones above you are both damaged, just so you know. The ones below you are
Yep. I'm aiming at the ones above.
not. Okay. 16's enough to hit the first one, but it does not kill it. Are you hitting the other one or the first
Same
one?
target.
Okay. That will easily kill it. So you just see like its body like sink below, and the rope just sort of like from its harpoon just sort of like bobs in the water for a moment, and that creature is deceased.
The Great One says hi.
Any bonus actions or anything your turn? No. Okay. Now it's the cultist's turn, so we got to go back to Reggie. So Reggie, this one's gonna run at you. Let's see, can this one get to you? Yeah. They are wielding scimitars. That's all they have. So
All right.
the first one's gonna swing at you. Misses you very, very clearly. Just like he's freaked out, doesn't know what's going on. Second one also misses you. So they're both just like swinging wildly in kind of a panic.
I'm gonna riposte the second one.
Sure. Yeah, that'll do it. So it's what, 12? Is it 17 or 12?
Yeah, it's 17.
Okay, nice. Good work. So he's still alive, very, very badly wounded. Actually, what you see, Reginald, are this kind of cabin door above you opens up at the other end of the ship there. And oops, that's the wrong layer. Shit. And the cultists start like running out, and you see there's a number of them. They're all going to start running out, but they're not going to get out yet this turn because they're all waking up to hear violence.
So are they effectively on like a platform on these squares? I mean, based on where King Hecaton's head is.
Yes, basically.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Selenda, your turn. Is she muted?
Yeah, she's muted in Discord.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
I was
unmute.
muted. Sorry.
That's okay.
Miros. When Valem hit them with fireball, did it seem like it did it
Yeah, because their heads were out of
reduce
the
damage?
yeah, their heads were out of the water. Like it didn't really protect them. If they were below the water, which they're not, then it would be a problem. But
Do I know anything about these creatures? Like, do I know whether they're immune to cold or anything?
I mean, you could make some sort of check, I guess.
Arcana check, since it's
Either that or nature.
Arcana is way better for me than nature.
Yeah, I mean, you don't think they're resistant to cold? You don't?
All right, I'm going to try and why is that not in there? All right, I'm just gonna ice storm them then.
Which ones? Down below?
The ones on the below side.
Okay. Roll it up.
I thought I already did.
There you go. So they're going to make DC 17 dex saves. Oh, shit. They actually crit. So they're going to take 3 plus 7, so 10 damage total.
Mm-hmm.
As the ice storm starts to, like, impale them and penetrate the top of their heads. Anything else your turn?
That is also difficult terrain now, by the way.
Okay.
No, that's everything.
Okay. Reggie, you're next. So I'm going to mute myself because my dog's barking.
All right. First attack against the guy I hit with the riposte. I assume that hits.
It definitely does.
And second attack, if he's still up.
No, so the first guy is immediately killed.
Okay, yes. Then I'll spin around and hit the other guy.
Sure. Also hits. These guys don't seem to be wearing a lot of armor. Yeah, so he takes a significant chunk of damage, but he's still alive. Anything else?
I think I will menacing attack him.
Okay. All right.
He takes an extra 3, and then if he fails the wisdom save, he's frightened for a round.
Okay. Wisdom save. No, rolled 2 ones.
Nice.
3 damage. Okay, and he's frightened.
Yeah, for 1 round.
Okay. Yeah, so now... Oh, I'm going to just flip this for a second. There we go. Yeah. So I just have to make some random bullshit rolls. Sorry. It's going to take a minute.
I'm going to leave him there and move closer to the cultists. I think I'm going to stay down on the bottom deck, but I'm going to make it get closer so they don't have as far to come and fight me.
Okay. Yeah, give me a second here. Minus 10. And then... Jesus. Oh, nice. Okay. 24. Okay. All right, Elizabeth, your turn.
Okay. Will hunters mark the far one on the top of the beasts?
Sure.
First shot will be sharpshooter.
Okay.
Of course.
So no.
Nope. Second shot, same thing, sharpshooter.
God, I thought you rolled another 10 right there. 18.
Yeah.
18 does hit.
You did too. I was freaking out.
Yeah, I think the chat just like jerked for a second and it looked like it rolled again.
So
That won't matter. You obliterate this thing. It is deader than dead can be, as its body just starts to like sink into the depths of the darkness.
all right.
Now, do I still have a rope attached to me now, or did it?
I mean, it's until you like we can assume if you want that you pull it out, but there's no marrow attached on the other end.
Got it. Okay.
And I'll look to Alton and Slend and say, "Somebody go help Reggie. He went down deck."
Do you have a bonus action or anything you want to use?
I already used bonus action for the
Hunter's Mark. You're right. Okay. Reggie, I should point out that down below, like up above where did you move? Shit. Did you move to the other end of the... Yeah, you did.
I moved down to the far, to the.
So,
just
yeah, you're hearing some, like, melee coming from that room that the half-orc disappeared into. Let me...
And that's on the opposite side where all the big group of cultists is.
Correct. Exactly.
Okay.
Sorry, trying to figure out what this guy's going to do here. Don't want to do that. Okay. Yeah, so something is happening in that other room. You have no idea what. Valem.
Okay, so Dawn, I'm gonna slide it. Oh, what am I doing? In this direction and then this direction, just so I don't burn King Hecaton.
I was gonna say like, why not go? Yeah, but that makes total sense.
Yeah, I don't want to fry him. He might be a little angry if I do that.
Mm-hmm. So you're going for the other marrows.
So to start burning those people up. Ooh, terrible.
Yeah, and they actually made the save too. So they
7.
take 7 damage each.
Then I'm going to step up forward here. Now, these guys that are pouring out of the door, we could probably see them now down here, right?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. So this fella right here, I'm going to use my action. I'm going to use Guiding Bolt at a higher level. Terrible damage rolls.
So 22 definitely hits. He takes what, 18 damage?
18 radiant, yes.
Okay. So he starts glowing. He's very bad off, but still alive.
And anyone that attacks him has advantage.
Okay. Marrow's turn. First one is going to... so they don't have their harpoons left. So, I mean, those two could pull them back. What's their move speed, actually?
Yes, unless they're suicidal, they're probably going to want to get out of that burning sunlight.
Yeah, totally. So they're actually going to run, or swim, as it were, up onto the deck. That one is going there. The other one is just going to climb in here, basically. Like Reggie, that one's actually going to fall on you, effectively. I'll move his token now. Oh, shit. There we go. So he falls down there.
I'm sure that's exactly what Reggie's saying.
So, Elizabeth, that one like gets in your face, just like screeching and hollering, obviously like really like pissed off and ready for violence. So it's going to try to bite you. It makes 2 attacks. The bite misses you. The claws also miss you. Here we go with Sean's outrageously good rolls. Of course, fucking Reggie's fine because he's got AC or whatever. It's 20, right?
Yeah, right. It's 22.
Yeah, so it's just clawing and scratching at you angrily, but unable to do anything to either of you. Alton.
I see a big ugly thing, but Beth told me to go help, but I can only get so far. So move my movement pretty much over to this cultist dead body and fire at the marrow closest to me. As I move forward, this way I'm not at disadvantage.
The one that's like attacking Elizabeth, you mean?
Correct.
Okay. First one hits. Still alive. Second one also hits. -9. Still alive, but looking very worse for wear. Bonus action?
Nope.
Okay. Cultists. That little guy down there is just like running. He doesn't know where to go. He runs like into that little room. Now the cultists are going to start to run down at you.
Yep.
These other ones, God, that's a lot of cultists. We'll do like 3 of them. And then the others, they're just like all blocked. They can't do anything. So 2 of them are going to attack you, Reggie, because they can't attack anyone else.
One of them might be able to jump the distance to get on the square right behind me or to the left of me.
Maybe. But the second one actually crit you with a 23. So you take 6 slashing damage from its scimitar.
Poor guys.
I know.
That's their crit damage.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they're all going to run forward. Selenda.
Okay, I'm not muted. So Beth just told us someone needs to go down for Reggie, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go down to Reggie.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna jump down there.
Okay.
Guess.
Yeah. I'll move your token if you move you down here.
Okay, it's the lower deck.
Yeah.
Okay. Shit, I can't fireball.
Seeing Celinda jump down, I say, "Don't fireball me."
You've got resistance to fire, remember?
I still don't like it.
Aren't you where? Why?
All right, what are you doing?
I am going to. I can't burn any hands. Am I close enough to whack one of the things that are on King Hecaton?
The chains?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could try to get to near one, yeah.
Reggie's surrounded, though. God
He
damn
is.
it, Reggie.
And you can clearly see that there's a number of cultists about to run out of that room.
I am going to Scorching Ray.
Okay.
I believe I get
2 rays.
I get
Or is
3
it 3?
rays.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was thinking, how many
4
more
comes
do
out
I
of
get at higher level? I think I'll just do it at 3rd level and get all 3 of the cultists.
The ones that are attacking. Ooh.
Oof.
Wow.
The ones that are
Oof.
attacking. Oh, those are better.
Yeah.
See,
The 2 that are closest. The 2 that are closest are the ones that hit.
Okay. 10. Wow, 2 10s. Okay. The one that is nearest Reggie is immolated. He is destroyed. Anything else your turn? Bonus?
Just FYI, that one she should have had advantage on if the first one she shot at.
We'll make it the top one. Yeah, roll again. Roll that first one again.
Okay.
Yeah.
12 actually just hits.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Poor cultists. They really.
I know, right?
They pick bad teams. Okay, anything else your turn? Bonus move?
I don't have any bonus actions, so no.
Reggie. Got a Marrow on you, who's basically standing on King Hecaton, by the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna just kind of. Oh, God, you're ugly. And I'm trying to decide. Yeah, I guess the Marrow is a bigger threat. The cultists are kind of like gnats.
Mm-hmm.
So I will make 2 longsword attacks against the cultists. Or the Marrow.
Okay, roll it up. Definitely hits.
Why have you not taken your potion?
I'm going to use luck on that second one.
Okay. Wow.
Nice.
That's how you use that.
So there's the 15 from the first attack. And then 16 for the second.
So that actually kills him.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, you like literally cut the Marrow apart. Like you cut him right through the torso. It starts to slide off like right as your other swing is coming up, and he just falls apart in like 3 separate triangles.
So then I'm going to action surge.
Okay.
And attack the cultist that's closest to me.
Okay. Hits. 12 doesn't kill him, but wounds him severely.
Will pump.
Choose your words carefully here.
His ass.
I'll do a disarming strike on him to do an extra 4 damage. I don't really care if he drops his weapon or not. I'm just hoping the 4 damage will bring him to death.
It actually does. It kills
Nice.
him. It kills him. He drops his weapon, and then he drops his soul.
So then I'll step over him and make my last attack against the last cultist on the ground.
Can Alton pick that up?
The soul?
Oh. I was like, pick what up? So wait, are you attacking the last one, Reggie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's my... I'm not going to burn another second luck, so I'll just miss that. And then as my bonus action, I am just going to try and like kick off any flesh of the Marrow off of King Hecaton's face, mouth area, so he doesn't choke.
Oh, that's very nice of you. Okay. In that room across the ship, you're starting to hear like very frustrated screams. Sorry, I know this is boring. Give me a second. Yeah, I think that's all that's happening is you're starting to hear these very frustrated like half-orc screams. Elizabeth, your turn.
Okay, I will dance 5 feet back away from this thing.
Mm-hmm. I forgot that thing was still alive.
Is it taking an opportunity attack?
Yeah, it will. It's
disadvantage.
What's that?
It's a disadvantage for my hunter archetype.
Okay. Well, 11 doesn't hit you, but it swipes at you as you try to back up.
I'll move my hunter's mark to it and take a sharpshooter at its face.
Okay. Yeah, that kills it instantly.
Okay.
Like right as its claw is like finishing its movement, you just dance backwards, pull your bow like right through its throat, and it just like gurgles, and I think its body like falls over and splashes into the water.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, these are stairs, right?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the, like just above the stairs. That way, my teammates can get down there. And I am going to. Can I see this middle cultist?
Yeah, just past that first one. Yeah.
Oh, I've already used my bonus action. Never mind. Okay. I'll just shoot at the first one in the door then with my second one.
Okay.
For the +3 longbow, I'm just gonna keep with the sharpshooter.
Okay. And you were shooting at this one here.
5. Yeah, just the 25 100 mark was already burned.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. It kills him instantly. Okay. Anything else? I don't think you have anything else your turn.
Nope. That's all I got.
More frustrated screams from the room in the middle of the ship. Valen.
As a free action, can I yell to Celinda, check that out, I've got these guys.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to start freeing Hecaton, but...
Well, you can do that. I'm going to go down to the stairs, and I guess I'll put myself here. Is this door unlocked?
Yes, but you are hearing some weird, like I said, just weird battle sounds, screams coming from that room.
Okay. Before I open the door, I'm gonna drop Dawn. I'm gonna bring up Spirit Guardians,
Okay.
and I'm gonna swing open the door.
So let me
Eh.
describe here what you see, because this is going to matter maybe. So first of all, what you see is this half orc that you guys were trying to kill earlier has pulled out a short sword and is just furiously swiping back and forth at this like humanoid who's wearing cloth, and the sword seems to be like hitting something outside of the human. Like it's hitting something, it's not making any sound, but the sword's not able to reach the human at all. And the half orc is just screaming furiously. This cabin is a mess. There's nautical books, there's navigation charts that are strewn across the floor. There's quills, there's loose ink that's just like dripping from a table onto the ground. There's empty wine bottles. Most of the furniture here is bolted to the floor. There's an unmade bed that actually has a squid-shaped headboard. It's a small writing desk, an open trunk, wardrobe, standard fare. And yeah, you see this this weird battle going on inside here.
The guy that I guess the orc is fighting, does he look like a prisoner of any type, or is he dressed similar to the other?
I mean, he's dressed
cultist or anything?
closer to the other cultists than he is. He's definitely does not look like a prisoner.
Okay, so I don't have to worry about saving either one of these people. So I'm going to try to slide into the room. Would I be able to make it in there?
Yeah.
Okay, well, both of these guys are going to get hit with my Spirit Guardians.
Yeah. Wisdom save 17. Whoops, that didn't roll. There we go. Well, okay, yeah, that he actually didn't need to roll, but that's fine. The half orc, wisdom. So yeah, the half orc is going to take some damage there, and in fact, the damage is actually going to kill him. So the half orc is just furiously swiping at this human, having no effect. You walk in with your spirit guardians, which immediately start pummeling the half orc, who succumbs to that punishment. You're left standing in the room with this human on the other side of you, who's just staring at you strangely. This human looks, for lack of a better word, crazy. Like crazed eyes, hollow pits like he's not been sleeping. And he's just glaring at you, clearly like angry, but also confused.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So you have an action, right?
That was my action, Spirit Guardians.
Oh, I thought that was bonus. Okay.
I don't really have a bonus action to take, so.
Okay. Alton, your turn.
All right. I can see down, I assume, from where I am.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try and do the same little swing that I saw the orc do.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, the deck's not that far down. You can just, with your little feet, just catch on to that little thing and be like, you see the doors open. You probably see basically what Valem sees. This human just standing there and Valem staring at him. Or you weren't going to the very lowest deck, were you?
No, the middle.
Okay, well, I'll move you down here then. So you're basically just outside of the room there, or just in the room. What are you doing?
Again, I'm assuming everybody on this ship is an enemy, so I'm blasting this guy.
Oh, shit.
You blast the NPC, not the DM, Jason.
Yeah, damn it.
My Eldritch Blasts are immensely strong.
So, like, as you cast this spell at him, you notice that, like, there's some shimmer that occurs just, like, outside of him, and the Eldritch Blasts basically get, like, absorbed and disappear.
I'm going to blink confusedly and look at Valem.
Okay. Do you have a bonus action or anything?
Unless I can make an Arcana check to figure out what that was. No.
Sure, yeah, I'll let you do that. No. It's some weird thing that just happened.
Balaam, what did he do?
I don't know.
Uh,
I hope he doesn't kill us.
Cultist turn. Yeah, this one's going to attack Reggie. Oh, yeah, look at that. He misses you. I'm going to make you guys an offer here, because obviously there's no way that these cultists are going to kill you. Do you want to allide some time, say that you killed the cultist, and move on to whatever the human is in that room? It's your call. I'm just telling you, like, this. There's no... They don't have a ranged weapon, so they have to keep going after Reggie, and it's just going to be time-consuming watching you kill them.
It just makes me worried about who this guy is in this room.
Well, and the thing... Well, it's up to you guys. Like, if you really want to do this round by round, we can, but... Does anyone have a vote?
I'm fine to say they're all dead.
Yeah, I'll blast them, but...
Well, my next thing was going to be a lightning arrow to the center cultist.
I kind of figured... I was honestly surprised Valem didn't just put his Dawn in that room. I figured that's what was going to happen.
Oh, God!
Well, it's a giant cylinder. I don't think I could have burned through the roof to get it in there.
I don't know. It's magic.
Because to maneuver it, I would have had to put it over King Hecaton's face as well.
Yeah, I might have allowed it, but that's okay. I understand where you come from. So you guys wipe out the cultists. We'll say that takes like a couple rounds, maybe like 3 rounds. And then giant.
So does the guy take three rounds worth of Spirit Guardian damage?
He takes no damage at all. Every time these Spirit Guardian things come around, you see that shimmer in front of him, and he takes no damage. He just seems completely unaffected.
This isn't another invulnerability potion, is it?
I mean, it's Globe of Invulnerability. So he takes no damage, I think. I think I read that right.
Doesn't that have a...
This guy's a high level.
I think it's 10 feet around him. Valem would be inside that, wouldn't he?
If he wanted to be, yeah. I guess I should. But if you're using magic outside of him, then I don't know if it would work. Any spell 5th level or lower can't affect creatures or objects within it, even if the spell is cast using a higher level spell slot. So, like, if you wanted to move within range of him, then I would let you do that, I guess. But, yeah, your ranged spells, if you're at any sort of distance from him, have no effect.
It can also be dispelled.
It can be dispelled.
I don't have dispel magic, unfortunately. I was actually thinking about taking it. I'm like,
Yeah. Do you Valem? Again, we can just allot time here. Like, how are you going to deal with this situation? Are you going to like move into melee? Like, how are the rest of you responding to this?
I mean, I assume Beth.
I am going to cast spell magic at 5th level.
Okay. Yeah, and you see that shimmer just like pop into existence and then just like fade away as your dispel magic works. I think we're going to move out of. And again, unless you guys really want to do it, we can move out of initiative.
That's fine.
I think it'll be easier that way. Valem, he just stares at you angrily. And he just says, He'll find you. He'll find you and drag you into the deep.
We've heard this story before.
Hell, I've lived this story before.
And like, I think out like with you in the room, you start to notice his nose starts to bleed.
Here we go again.
And he says, "You'll never win. Never. I'll drag you down myself. I'm sure we'll be seeing each other again."
I doubt that.
And the blood starts like pouring like a hose from his nose. God damn it.
Do we get the sense that this is the same kind of thing that killed Caspian?
Yeah. Very much.
Yes, I was in the room when that happened too.
What about
They don't
Alton?
want
Or not Alton. Aldo. Is this the same kind of thing they killed Aldo?
Hard to say.
No, that was me.
No, that was me. You just made sure the brains got scrambled.
Well, I was present for all 3 of those. Does it?
No, I mean Aldo.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Not
I was in.
Andrew.
You were Valen was there for that, I think. But with Eldo, there was no blood. It looked like that weird, like orangish red, like
Yeah,
vomit.
he was like rotting or something.
Yeah, from the inside out. This doesn't look like that. This does look precisely
Okay.
like how Caspier Dryland died, though.
Okay.
And his body just slumps over, and just the blood is pooling around him. Yeah.
From my vantage point, does Hecaton seem to kind of come to?
Nope. Still looks like just.
I'm gonna start working on the chains.
Yeah. Shit.
I want to search this room for anything that might link these guys to Hecaton, like who may have hired them.
Okay.
I will help with the chains.
Well, all right. Hang on. You're doing a lot of things at once, please. So we'll start with Valem because that doesn't require any math. Why did I? Oh, that's why. Okay. Yeah. So Valem, as I described this room as before, it's just chaos. You also notice though, and I think we get that scene where, we see the blood from this human like pooling on the ground, and it starts to like move in the wood, in the rivets, you know, like between the wood and what have you. And we get that like HBO shot of like the blood moving into what looks like in the floor here near the bed. There are words carved into the wood of the ship, with like just with a knife, and the words say dragon, Imrith, sisters, and treachery. You also find a desk drawer that is locked in this room.
Is it just wood?
Yes,
It's not locked anymore. I'm just gonna smash it.
that's fine. You can totally do that. There is in this drawer, you find a spell book. Very, very clearly like a wizard's spell book.
I know someone who might need that.
Now, to deal with...
So, Linda, you want something to read?
Slenda's outside trying to whack at some
Okay,
chains.
so, Selenda, how are you attacking these chains?
Well, I'll try with magic. If that doesn't work, I'll probably I'll try fire. Take a fire spell. Probably a cantrip. Like I'll try and hit it with frost firebolt, and if that doesn't work, ray of frost.
None of that works. Has no effect on the chains.
I am helping her.
So then I'm going to. Does anybody have? I think I have a dagger. Yeah, I have a dagger. So I'm gonna take a dagger and I'm gonna try and slip it in between the chains, and just like, and like try and bust them open.
Yeah, the chains are much too dense for your dagger to have any real effect, it seems.
I do have a 19th in strength.
You said the chains are connected to the boat, right?
It's what it looks like, yeah. I mean, it's a weird sort of, again, this ship is very unnatural, so everything about it is kind of unnatural, but...
Beth's gonna follow the chain to the source where they're secured on the boat, take out her hand axes, and just start cutting the wood around where the chain is secured.
Ladies, allow me to try something, please.
What are you trying?
And I'm going to hop down. Well, you said King Hecaton was alive and breathing, right?
No, his eyes are open. He appears to be breathing, but he does not appear conscious. But I mean,
I don't care if he's conscious. I care if he's got 1 hit point. He's a newt.
This is interesting. I think what's going to happen here, and I'm doing this because I think it's interesting, not to screw you. I think what happens
All
is
good.
as he shrinks down into this newt, the chains shrink with him and bind the newt to the wood floor of the ship.
Huh. That did not
Okay,
go the way I
I've got.
expected.
Oh, hang on. I'm gonna hit it with magic missile.
Okay.
The newt.
Oh,
Now, magic missile is what kind of damage?
force damage. It's the
Um,
only other kind of damage I've got.
Now, just to be clear, I know you guys are going to hate me for doing this. I'm reading this quite literally. So, the way that the module lays it out, which I think is dumb. Yeah, I'm going to let magic missile work. It's dumb. It's so dumb.
Okay.
Yeah, so roll.
Magic
Curiosity, what kind of
auto
damage do we
hits.
need?
You need
Magic
bludgeoning,
missile
piercing.
auto hits.
It's not that it auto hits. It's that it's not the right kind of damage. The module literally says bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage.
Oh my god.
So, but like I said, I don't really care enough to do that.
I've got a club. I will eventually get it done.
It has to be adamantine or magic weapons.
Well, I've got a +2 longsword.
Yeah,
so
I think
yeah.
Reggie's
Yeah.
really the
I'm
only
strong.
one.
Would there have been a way for me to just cast Dispel Magic again? Realistically, is that something that would work?
I
Can I
don't.
just-
I don't
I-
think.
Seeing Celinda's attempts at casting spells fail, I probably would have tried hacking at one of the things closest to me, and if that even made a scratch, then I'd say, "Hey, this is working."
Why don't
Just
you?
be really careful. He's a newt. Don't hit him.
Yeah, like I said, the chains literally have an AC of 20, and so we'd have to roll over and over again. And like I said, I don't want to deal with it. You've dealt with all the shit on
Wait,
the boat.
let's do. I'll just do this real quick.
Like, I would give you advantage on the rolls just because they're stationary chains. It's not like you can miss them.
Okay, so
What are you doing? And I'm terrified.
I'm just gonna do.
Oh, shit.
Holy mother of God!
Well, with advantage, like, almost all of those hit.
All but one, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. So, it's Reggie's sword that fells the chains.
Those chains were tougher than those cultists.
They really were.
It's sad, but they are.
They were holding a giant king.
probably why they couldn't afford better help was how good these chains are.
So
I spent
now...
all the money on the chains.
Nice. So now that the chains are free, the newt just starts, like, running around on the deck.
I catch the newt.
Okay?
I wait, no, actually, I have to denewt the newt. He's got an intelligence of 1 right now. He's
Newt the
unnewted.
newt.
King Hecaton is King Hecaton again instead of a newt.
It should
Sorry,
be,
Your
And he's in your hand.
should be noted,
No.
our cat Newton is now very confused why Daddy keeps saying his name.
Aw.
That's so
But no,
cute.
I'll drop concentration after he starts scurrying because, sorry, Your Highness, at the time it sounded like a really good idea to get you out of those chains.
So, basically, the newt rapidly expands back out into the storm giant Hecaton. And immediately he, like, falls and takes a knee. Not because he looks hurt. He immediately starts looking around panicked. And he's looking around and trying to gain his surroundings, trying to figure out what the fuck happened. And he looks at all of you, like he sees all of you standing there. And he yells out, like in this loud, booming storm giant voice. Lord's alliance indeed! I'll see your alliance wrecked upon the waves for this treachery! And he immediately, like, starts, like, moving back and forth to, like, rock the ship.
What's a Lord's Alliance?
I'm just gonna shout out, Your Highness, we've come on behalf of Sarissa, your daughter.
I need you to make me a persuasion check with advantage.
All right. Oh,
Well, it's not with advantage, but
Yeah.
you didn't need it regardless. And as he's, like, rocking, and all of you are starting to have to, like, grab onto things before he might flip the boat. You're grabbing onto things, and very abruptly he just stops. And he, like, looks and his eyes go wide. He, like, shakes his head like he's waking up from some, coma. And he, what did you say?
your daughter, Sarissa.
What-
She asked us to find you.
And he, like, genuinely looks taken aback, like this is not what he was expecting.
There was a giant in your court, sir.
Let's
Dragon.
hope so.
He said,
Or
well, yes,
dragon
there
in
are
your
many
book,
giants
sir.
in my court.
I meant dragon.
Um,
Why don't we let Sarissa tell you? Who's got the bag?
Yes.
yes.
Who's got the
that's-
conch?
Yeah.
The bag's got the
Yeah.
conch.
I pull the conch out.
And yeah, he looks at it, and like there's a moment where like there's a calm that flashes over him. He kind of stops. He says, "My daughter gave this conch to you."
Sort of.
She let us keep it.
It's been a interesting week.
It certainly has.
Actually, at this point, it's been an interesting few months, Your Highness.
I could stand to stretch my legs. And he's like looking around the ship. He says, who are these people?
Dragon.
Dead?
Cult, some form of cult. Now corpse.
Kind of nods. There's like no sadness to him at all. Well, as long as we're done here. He like looks around and he's just like looking around to see like what's going on. He sees all the corpses and things. I suppose I'm ready whenever you are. That is assuming you have nothing
Should
left.
we-
You have nothing left to search on the ship.
Do we want
Um,
to search? I don't really think there's.
What
I'm not-
was? Oh, the spell book was in the. Never mind.
Yeah, we had a spell book.
Oh, Celinda, there's a guy in that door behind you.
What?
The coward. He ran in that door behind you. He's probably still hiding in there.
In fact, he
I'm
is.
gonna go in there.
And he looks up at you. He's got his hands up. He's, please don't, please. And like, I
Who
think
are you?
You hear Hackaton saying like, "What is this?" And the guy's like, "Oh God, like don't let him kill me, please."
Who are you?
Hi, my name,
Who do you work for?
well, I did work for Thoughts. I think you killed him though. I'm just a cultist.
Greater scheme, man. Greater for what cult? You're definitely not dragon.
Well, no. It's the Kraken Society. You're not going to kill me, are you?
You're too much of a coward.
And I think you hear from the boat as Hecatan is trying to figure out what's going on. He says, "I'll kill him. Bring him here."
Sure. Can I levitate? Can I levitate this poor fucker out?
You're strong. You could probably carry him out.
Oh, you're right. I can grapple him. I'm gonna try and grapple him.
I'm looking at the conch and looking at the king. Really? All right. You're the king.
Oh, but hey,
Nice.
wait. Well, here's the kicker. No shit. That is amazing. You rolled a crit. I rolled 2. I rolled 2 20s on the
Wow.
nose. But you're still going to win because his top is 20 and you rolled a 24. So he is putting up a serious fight. Like he's kicking and screaming and begging you. But you're just stronger. You're able to overpower him. That is amazing.
It's great.
So there's so much red today and then so much green. It's so beautiful.
You finally
Anyway.
rolled well, Sean.
I
And
know,
then-
but it doesn't even matter. Yeah, exactly.
Poor Sean.
Yeah. So you drag him out into the other
I'm gonna
room.
drag him out and like throw him towards not throw him, but like
Push him.
shove
yeah,
him
Yeah.
towards Hekaton.
And Hecatan just like reaches with one massive hand and like snatches him up. And he
Bites
looks,
his head off.
No.
No.
He looks to the human. He says, "My wife trusted your kind. Give me a reason not to drown you this very moment."
If you don't mind me interrupting, Majesty, our kind did save you.
This is true. And Hecatan says to the human, "It seems your life has been saved. if only temporarily. And he like just casually like lifts him over the water and like drops him. He says, I hope you find a shore to swim to.
I hope you meet your master, the Kraken.
And
Can we leave, please?
the cultist just like freaks out and tries to start swimming. He's clearly weak, but he is able to swim away.
I feel like tossing him the mariner's armor.
No.
If you can change into this in the water, then all the luck, better luck to you.
Can
Okay,
we
yeah.
please
So
leave? No Krakens?
Hecaton
Yes, let's go.
Hecaton
please.
is looking at you. He says, "We could swim back. I could use the jaunt."
If it's all the
fairly
same to you, I think we'll just take the quick way.
I think your daughter would appreciate seeing you sooner rather than later, Highness. So much has gone on, and she needs your guidance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. He'll definitely buy that argument for sure. So there's nothing else on the ship you want to look for. Like you don't want to search the ship.
Oh, that sounds like a leading question.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
help you, but you're like, fuck it, whatever.
I suppose I'll go up in the cultist room and search that, where those 8 cultists were.
Yeah, there's just like little foot lockers and stuff. You don't really
Actually,
find
all
Is
things
there
considered,
anything in particular on the orcs or the warlock's body? Not our warlock, obviously.
I don't think so. Let me just double check. Like you got the spell book. No, I don't think there's anything on their bodies.
All right, then we let Hecaton pace while we give the ship a good once over, just in case.
I figured that's what everybody who hasn't been talking has been doing.
Okay. So shit.
And
sorry.
if that room with all the cultists didn't have anything, I'll go back down to the lower deck and check this room.
So that's the room. It looks like a more of a private room, not the captain's quarters.
But it's only got like 1 bed, or as opposed to 12.
It's actually it's sparsely furnished. It contains a hammock, a wooden treasure chest with a built-in lock, and a rug which appears to be made from a Yeti's hide.
I want the rug.
I wrap it up and shove it in the bag of holding before Celinda sees it.
God
rug?
damn it! Why does
Okay.
everybody want to keep me from having my furs?
I found this one first, and I'm rich and like fine things too.
Yeah, so that's what's in the room. There's a hammock, a treasure chest, and the rug.
There's a chest in here, but it looks locked. I don't feel like smashing. I'm tired from smashing chains.
That's true.
Is it a wooden chest?
Looks pretty sturdily built. I mean, against a giant, I realize, but
Let's just take the whole thing and leave.
Yeah, seriously, we take it with us. We can unlock it later.
okay. All right. So you grab the chest, and then I assume you're gonna use the conch to
Yeah, teleport all of us.
We're piecing out.
right after I moved all these maps. You guys suck. That is the wrong. Oh no, I didn't. Oh, I didn't. Never mind. I'm a fool.
Celinda will definitely take the spell book because she's actually thinking of multi-classing as a wizard later.
Jesus Christ.
It interests.
Okay. These guards here. Yeah, if you guys want to move your tokens back. So yeah, you reappear on the sigil where you appeared before, in the Maelstrom, in the hold of the Storm Giants. You have successfully returned Hecaton to his kingdom.
Yay!
I feel like that's probably a good place to stop. We ran longer than I expected. But yeah, I think we should probably pick up there next week. Sound good?
Cool.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.